Hello guys. Hi Spidey. How are you? Guys, जो भी सुन guys आज एक मैंने अपने फ़ोन की आवाज़ ही नहीं बनाई। हाय हाय आई एम शेरा। ठीक है भाई। ट्रस्ट भाई ट्रस्ट भरोसा रखो यही है। क्या मैंने ना अभी साउंड वाउंड उसका कोई ऑन नहीं किया है बिकॉज आई उस चीज़ पे म्यूज़िक में कॉपीराइट पड़ जाता है। स्ट्राइक नहीं पड़ती बट कॉपीराइट म्यूज़िक पे अभी स्टार्ट नहीं किया। स्टार्ट होता है मैच तो उसकी आवाज़ भी बढ़ा रही हूँ। ये मेरी बातों को सुने एंड बस वेट करें जब तक ये स्टार्ट होता तब तक मैं थोड़ी सी कर दूँ। गाइस अभी तो ये लोग बात कर रहे हैं तो कर सकते हो तुम लोग। योर वॉइस इज लैगिंग माय वॉइस इज लैगिंग। हाँ रियली। एज सही तो आ रही है। सही आ रही है नहीं? मेरे पास तो सही आ रही है। सही नहीं आ रही क्या और क्या है? मेरे पास तो आ गया है बुढ़ापा आ रहा है। आई एम शेरा कॉफ़ी चाहिए मैं मारूंगी तुम्हें यार। कॉफ़ी चाहिए। गाइस जो भी स्ट्रीम बनाएगा गाइस स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो। मेरी वो क्यों अटक गई व्हाट। हाँ इस पे आता है कॉपीराइट। जी। गाइस मैं इसमें से आसपास मेरा फेवरेट है जेकिन फेवरेट है मेरा एंड बस और मैं किसी को नहीं जानती इन दोनों को ही जानती हूँ। बहुत फेमस है मैंने शॉर्ट से मज़ा आ रहा है। शोर आ रहा, माइक ठीक करो। शोर क्यों आ रहा? व्हाट रियली गाइस, तुम मुझे तंग कर रहे हो क्या? शोर नहीं आना चाहिए। एमएच कॉफ़ी चाहिए? मैं मारूंगी पकड़ के शेरा, तुम्हें मारूंगी मैं पकड़ के। जा रही है अब, आई थिंक क्लियर आएगी। अब शायद सही आए आवाज़। गाइस बैकग्राउंड को फिर वाले हो जाता। खैर, ख़त्म कब होगा मैच? कब शुरू होगा? स्ट्रीम की आवाज़ भी नहीं आ रही क्योंकि मैंने स्ट्रीम की आवाज़ अभी लगाई नहीं है, क्योंकि जो चल रहा था ना उस पर मुझे कॉपीराइट आ जाता है। बाकी मेरी आवाज़ सही आ रही है? नहीं होगी यार सही। एंड ऑल्सो यू आर कटिंग ऑफ। हाँ, क्या मसला है? तुम लोग वाकई सीरियस हो? सही बोल रहे हो, वैसे सही बोल रहे हो। अपनी स्ट्रीम ऑन करके चेक कर लो। सही बोल रहे हो, सही बोल रहे हो। ठीक है, आई ट्रस्ट यू। एक सेकेंड। अब शोर आ रहा है। अब शोर आ रहा होगा तुम लोगों को। पता नहीं यार, मतलब कल तो ठीक थी स्ट्रीम। कॉफ़ी पिला दो गाइस, बस कर दो। कॉफ़ी 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 बस कर दो, चुप हो जाओ सारे। जी। अब कट रही है आवाज़? यार ऐश बस बस, सही है ऐश, ठीक है यार। मैच कब शुरू होगा? ये यहाँ भी करे जा रहे, करे जा रहे, करे जा रहे, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है। तुम्हारी सुन लेते हैं पहले इंशू, है ना? थैंक यू, थैंक यू फेको। गाइस स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो यार, तुम लोग 8 की वॉचिंग है, कुछ तो करो। लाइक शेयर कमेंट प्लीज़। तुम्हारी स्ट्रीम पे तुम्हारी सुन लेते हैं भाई, मेरी स्ट्रीम पे मेरी सुनी जाएगी क्या? तुम लोग की सुनेंगे अब वैसे आवाज़ सही आ रही है अब? शोर वोर तो नहीं आ रहा है? कट तो नहीं रही है वॉइस अब? गाइस मेरी चेयर नहीं आके दे रही है यार, चेयर का अलग रोला चल रहा है। ओए चलो चलो शुरू हो गया, चलो चलो शुरू हो गया।
On the waylay, Zekken on the raise here. Over on the side of all gamers, as you said, it does look like GeForce going to be sticking with the Omen here. They also have
लाइक
that
कैसे
double
करते
duelist,
हैं
but
ये
they're
वाला ना?
swapping
मैं
it out
मारूंगी
for
यार,
the
अपना माइक
Neon
बंद
instead
करके
of
ट्राई
that
करो।
waylay on the other side and rocking with the Vice over the Cypher.
हंसू
So
मैं?
I think very, similar
पीछे स्ट्रीम की
approaches, but
आवाज़ ऑन कर दो।
slightly different here. I think it is hard to hold of that vice when there's a
ज़्यादा करना
waylay
है. Do
coming
you
at
need
you.
a thumbnail
I was
designer?
literally thinking of that. Thinking
यार
about how yesterday
actually
BBL swapped into the Cypher just to make
यार
sure
आप
that
मुझे
Kankan
DM कर दो
had
Discord
no
पे.
freedom. And honestly, if I was
पता
going up
नहीं,
against
शायद
Aspas, I
नहीं.
would
I
think
don't
the
know.
same thing. I want to neutralize their movement or try and limit it as much as possible. So even though we've been talking about GRQ and whatnot, I want to see also a little bit of the cheekiness.
Lotus map
I
है
want to see
guys.
the aggression.
But मैं
I want to see
obviously
them taking
MIBR
advantage
की
of that
side
and
पे
go
हूँ.
on the hunt for
वो लोग
tanks.
मेरे favorite है यार.
went way deep in overtime against Team Heretics on Lotus. It was just a constant barreling down C. We'll see what is in store here for MIBR and AGAL as they play for this final slot.
आसपास का मैंने देखा था क्रोड में भी इसने वेले चलाई थी इतनी मस्त वेले चलाई थी ना इस बंदे ने. I can also design. शेरा को मारूंगी यार मारूंगी मैं. सेकंड रेस खेलता है मुझे नहीं पता इतना बट सेकंड अच्छा खेलता है काफी. लोटस पे साइफर फेड रेज ओमन मेरे अच्छे हैं यार सारे
I think
एजेंट्स
it's going
अच्छे
to be a
हैं.
difficult one. I think AG
But
sort
उनके
of
पास
surprised me
flashes
throughout
नहीं है.
with their resilience versus what I would say
फ्लैशेस
is
नहीं है.
decent
एक ही है
teams.
वो
So
वुमन का
they've kind of
फ्लैश
had,
है
like,
और उनके पास वाइस
not in
का
a,
है.
like massively dominant victories, but they've been fairly consistent. Like they weren't blown out by Heretics
यार
whatsoever.
कल के
and then
मैच
they
में
managed a
आई
close
थिंक
victory
किसका
versus
मैच
G,
था
whereas you
वो
look at the other side and you got MIBR utterly dominant on their day. And then absolutely
पता नहीं मैं
obliterated
भूल
not on
गई
their day.
किसका
So
मैच था कल.
it almost kind of comes down more so
मैं भूल गई
to
किसका मैच था
are
कल.
MIBR
Shit.
going to be that
देखते हैं.
like world beater team, or are they going to have a rougher start? And can all gamers almost force them into a spot where they're struggling a little bit more? Because as I said, I think of the two teams, all gamers so far have been a little bit more consistent.
Well, we heard about the hunt for Tex trying to take him down, whether it be on the attack side.
कल जो EDG ने जो खेला था ना आई थिंक उनका लाइनअप सेम था ये रेज नियॉन वाला. आई थिंक सो जहाँ तक मुझे याद है EDG केसी था ना जो मैच.
AG don't react. They simply sit back. I think they're waiting for that overextension. Or to hear the steps back and see that the A site would be a little bit more open, but that push.
यार वो जो है ना एक आसपास वो काफी अच्छा खेलता है गाइस. यार वो बहुत अच्छा खेलता है सच में. मैंने उसको देखा है करोड़ पे भाई उसने कैसे खेला तो उसने एस भी मारा था यार. Put some respect on his name. अरे जो आसपास जी हैं ना वो बहुत अच्छा खेलते हैं गाइस. और कुछ वर्ल्ड चैंपियन है वो 2022 का. EDC versus KC.
Searching for, maybe expecting further aggression or
BBL था versus BBL था. BBL KC नहीं था BBL था.
Moving, well there's the contact, and then the other two players can come back towards the door. So you've not really gained anything other than finally getting the A control, but 30 seconds left. Smoke is going to hold them back. Two players on the cross. In fact, Aspas isn't even checked for. The trades though are good. Puts them into a more even scenario. The push back as well from Bai is perfect. That late lurk has given them the B site, given them a huge advantage, and put Mazzino in a clutch.
Mazzino creeping in from this angle. They don't think he was in that initial push, despite the util that went down. They thought he rotated out, but one's all he'll get. I love this mid round from AG. Look, they were in a pretty tough spot, having to push into the Cypher utility. They don't know it wasn't there. We could see it wasn't. But having to push towards that C site, they knew they'd lost A main, and said they'd swing open the door, wait a moment, and hope that those players pushed up holding that first choke point would fall back. So instead of a battle, they just get Aspas spotting them and then bailing out.
Yeah.
There, I think not clearing that corner was a little bit of an oopsie, but
this was
that
the big
play.
moment.
Leaving by there the entire round. He waited for probably a minute outside B, and the timing was perfect.
Yeah, I would say that it still made me feel a little bit worried that, like, you get the opening kill, Aspas also gets away with murder, and it does basically come down to a clutch play from Bai to win out that round. If that trips even a little bit deeper, you're probably not winning it, but they do get things over the line. That's the most important thing, at least. But the defensive side, not much going to be invested into this one. DRQ, well, a chance maybe, and instead it's going to be Kira.
Planning bodies just protecting that C walk up. Got a main space. Cam should be destroyed. I know it's being heard, but I think it's behind the wall on A, so there's not really much that.
क्या हो गया क्या हो गया फेको ज़्यादा बदतमीजी नहीं कर रहे हो हैं क्या हो गया.
The time to be taking those risks.
Loving the stream मैं मारूंगी शेरा. Sorry फेको बोला मैंने. Sorry.
Certainly paid off. this time around. It could be the same.
आसपास जी तभी आसपास के पास भी नहीं है वो ऐसी बातें करते हो
All three, in fact.
फेंको बदतमीजी नहीं करो ठीक है ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है मैंने कोई गंदी बात नहीं कही है मैंने बोला बहुत अच्छा खेलता है वो बंदा अबे अलबैक 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 है राइट पे अलबैक खाना है यार मैं वापस मन कर रहा है अलबैक खाने का फेंको ने बुली कर दिया उसे ऑफ कैम
puts them in a spot where they can just run through all the angles as they did in the last round. Well, that's a bit of a surprise. I didn't know the full force of his opposition were.
Hi, hello, आसपास hello.
Maybe expecting that Vice Wall to be out towards C long rather than holding on to B, so they caught a good timing. Of course, for buy that Bucky can be risked, but anything else would be incredibly costly. 3 rifles in play that could be brought into the next round, and Texas done
भाई उन्होंने
incredibly
इतनी अच्छी
well.
पोजीशन रखी हुई
2 quick kills off
थी
the classic.
बट देन फिर टाइमिंग हो गई वो लोग हटे और वो लोग आ गए
They have to run in here because that spike has been tapped. Even still though, they've turned it back into an advantageous position from Verno. Any additional kills would be great, but he comes up against the one healthy player. A rifle is still lost, but at least they get the round, which considering what's invested, I shouldn't be saying that.
No, we should not be looking for silver linings in a round like this. That was huge work by Tex. Turns out he was the hunter in there with a classic.
इससे अच्छा टेकन स्ट्रीम कर ली बदतमीजी कर ली और मैं टेकन भी कर सकती हूँ पता है पहले भी मन किया था वापस मन कर रहा है my point क्या
Some bumps in the
How
road early on.
does
Still making
MIBR
course
became
correct.
short
They can ignore all
to
those earlier issues if they find the W here. MIBR putting the credits on
हाँ
the line.
ML कब हुआ है ML क्या है
This time with 3. Nade going deep. It's going to force them back, and Aspis a little closer than they might expect. He's got his refract. He can fall right
MIBR
back, so
नहीं
he
था
goes in for the pick. Finding nothing.
They got commentators already by the way बेटा हमें बोला गया स्पेसिफिकली कि अगर आप कर रहे हो स्ट्रीम तो आपको कमेंट्री करनी है समझ आ रही है तभी तो आपको नहीं मिला और मुझे मिला है कोई स्ट्रीम का समझ आ रही है
Early decision from the attack was just play more.
OMG Inshuu versus Gavin taken man
Had the wall covering.
guys कर ली बदतमीजी कर ली
It does seem like MIBR are almost having to figure out.
एक तो शेरा और फेंकोगे ना ऑलमोस्ट पीएफपी ब्लैक एंड वाइट सी है अब मैं कंफ्यूज हो जाती हूँ EWC स्ट्रीम में है ना
Because they're playing so
बस
far
बस
back
गाइस
towards the
बस
spawn, it's making it troublesome. Clearing some of those
अच्छा
early
खेल रहा है MIBR
Now, bear in
please
mind, Zekken doesn't have a whole lot of support, but if he can hit a shot and get out of there, he's done his job, and that's exactly what he does.
It's the same approach.
कर ले बदतमीजी शेरा तुमसे यही उम्मीद थी आपस की बात है
They brawl for it, losing a player already, and then send by for the late
भाई
look for B.
सेकंड ने क्या पिक निकाली है
The problem is MIBR are so aware of this. They're not going to fall for the same trick twice, but with Mazzino down, now they're under pressure. Aspis no longer a surprise in the corner, but he's ready for buy. Catches him, finds another, and at least
आसपास तो गोट है भाई
The plant, 10 seconds, it needs to be found soon, and they can flood back in. They can deny this, but instead taking their time, closing the walls in slowly. As all gamers have no real space to play with. They know heaven's clear, but they want a battle. They want to
हो गया my bad
will
बस
be
छोड़ दो
towards
सेकंड जी अरे भाई अरे गाइस हेलो
washes the rest of the
MIBR
defense
है
away.
जिंदा है
That's going to be
गाइस
all gamers losing out on the 3rd round, but still trading a couple of blows.
Yay,
There was a real
जीत
chance in the
गए
2v3.
शेरा मुझसे बात नहीं कर रहा था
I think it was mainly Aspas in
Pathetic.
this round that manages to stop it getting out of control, because the fact they're able to take over that door control, leave it down to just him,
तुम लोग
and
आज
then he
खेल
has
नहीं
to
रहे हो
fight
क्या
2 players at once, basically
Taken.
from different angles, and it's only because it's a little bit disjointed. I think
It looked like a
Bai
complication.
basically tried to trade off the
cutie,
initial
हाँ,
shots,
कितना
going,
cute
okay,
सा
he's
है।
fighting my teammates, I can just swing, and then his teammates aren't swinging. So that's where it kind of
Also,
falls apart.
GRQ swung in looking the wrong way, which is unusual. When he'd already been spotted.
दोनों के
I
पास
didn't
बाय
realize
अभी
this
भी
was there. I think
guys
it was just a microsecond of miscommunication
सीखो ऐसे फेट खेलते हैं
that
ऐसे
led to Aspis getting a second bite of the cherry. And the numbers being
Hi
in favor of
Afak,
MIBR on the
hello,
way back through. Still,
welcome
it
to
was a
my
clean
stream.
retake.
Big fan, yeah, big fan.
The defensive side. Even a stinger on Mazzino in this round.
I think it's clear that the defense think this is going to be C fight. After denying them A and obviously having this fallback early, they had 3 players stacked up on C.
ओमन और फेट की फाइट होने वाली है शायद
The Waylay are ready and raring to go.
शायद
And then they had the Cypher set up over on A as more of a delay. But again, it's very, very slow from all gamers, taking their time. This time slowly
W
walking
stream,
through
thank
that
you,
A position.
Lexi.
That
Thank
first
you.
trip is predictable, but
Coffee
the second,
or
you should
hard
see the
drive?
smoke go down on the stairs, and then the neon try to slide through on the site.
हार्ड
But
ड्राइव
being
यार
so
हार्ड
low,
ड्राइव
there's a
चाहिए
decent
मुझे
chance that's
मेरी
gonna
हार्ड ड्राइव
catch it.
खराब हो गई
And that
फेंकू
gives Tex a
चेहरा
kill trip. If
मेरी
they're
हार्ड
not
ड्राइव
quick
खराब हो
enough to
गई यार
react
मैं
to
तो
breaking it.
दिन ही खराब जा रहे
Time
हैं
going down recently. Tex already taking a few shots and a nade now. That might
what
stop
a
him from
nade,
being able
bhai.
to punish, and they go right over the trip. In fact, breaking it is the nade. Tex still
Fuck हो
manages
गया
to
fuck
find
हो
one,
गया
but
ये
the
टेक्स्ट fuck हो
showstoppers
गया
fired his
नहीं
way. Dodges that as well. And the numbers stay favorable
is
for
your
the
hard
defense.
drive working hello
Did get one off the kill trip. He did find
यार
one that was revealed.
न-
Convergence path used as well.
भाई
Kira
क्या
knows he has to
खेल
try
रहे
and
हैं भाई
execute off
भैया
of that. GeForce done well, so is Bai. Actually, they're fighting this back. The
नजर
remaining
मार दी
two
मैं
look
मुझे लग
like
रहा
they
है
were
मैंने
in
नजर
trouble.
मार दी
Instead, they were the trouble. Two standing in Verno's way. He had an
नहीं
exceptional
चल रही है नहीं
first
चल रही
game.
है
Was
सबको
almost a
बताया
hard
हुआ है
carry in a
हार्ड
team
ड्राइव
full of superstars,
खराब हो
but he's now
गई
trying to bait them in.
यार ये ना
Hoping that someone makes the mistake, someone
कल
goes
रात को
looking
हुई
in
थी ये
towards
लोगों
the
ने
spike, but they're not falling for it.
ये लोग
Now
थे हुई थी
baiting
मैं
in
उस
for a
टाइम मेरे
second
साथ
time, but it is Bai from
क्या मुझे
behind.
बुरा लग
that
रहा है
will
मैंने अभी
close
बोला
out
है
the round. He's
MIBR इतना अच्छा
7-1
खेल रही है एकदम
right
से मर
now,
गई सारी
only being
इज्तिमाई
shut
दुआ
down once by
मांगेंगे
Aspas,
रात
and other than
में
that being the star of the show.
क्या दुआ
I can't
मांगेंगे
believe how confident they
अब मैं
were
लूंगी
right
तो
there. All
NVMe
gamers
बट मैंने
played that
NVMe
so
की
cool,
प्राइस
but he
देखी
could
and I
have
was
stuck
like
it
bro I
inside the
can't
smoke. They
I
just
can't
knew
afford
he wouldn't have the gall to do such a thing.
W
Gave him
साथ
plenty of time, but in the end, they made the right call.
हार्ड
3
ड्राइव
to
की
1
नमाज
now for
जनाजा
all
at 9
gamers.
PM
And
how you
after what
doing
was,
visuals by
some warning
साथ
signs early on, like round 2
Guys,
was
तुम
way
लोग अपनी
closer
बातचीत
than it
कर
should have
लो
been. We could have seen MIBR come up with rounds very
अरे
early on.
MIBR
Well,
प्लीज
now the
अच्छा
defense
खेल
has
लो
left
यार
down
तुम
to
लोग
an equal.
वॉश्ड हो
Now
गए
all
हो
gamers should extend that
Pico,
lead
I'm
even
good. How
further,
are
and this
you?
is a phenomenal start. Well, starting to think
Big
back to the game
dog.
against Global
अच्छा
Esports for MIBR, and it seems like a long
आसपास
time
बहुत
ago.
प्यारा सा है
It's interesting as well because we are seeing MIBR winning a lot of the opening battles.
गाइस तुम लोग
Pistol
सबके नाम
round,
प्रोनाउंस
even
कर
in
सकते हो
the
मुझे तो
lullaby
नहीं
round
आते
as well.
खीरा
They've been
है
able to get
श्रिम्प
opening
है
picks, and then all gamers
फंजीर
have
है
converted before we find
फंजीर है
almost
ये
every single time. So it
फंजीर
seems like them getting into the post plant is almost enough, and that was what
फंजीर
2v4
I am
that they're able to turn back into
हटना
their
नीचे
favor.
होना
MIBR
I
are
am
getting themselves in good position.
GRQ.
The conversion just
क्या
hasn't
नाम
been there.
है टैक्स वर्नो
They're
मजीनो
certainly aware
जेकिन
that Tex could be
आसपास
here, but Bruno might try to play the distraction.
Please,
He's spotted,
Tex.
though. Getting back out of there is still a success for him. The pistol on range.
गाइस जो
like
भी
that.
स्ट्रीम में नए हो गाइस स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो
Almost, despite seeing the cipher towards the C site, they decide to contact up here to play into it. And remember, last round, Tex was able to get some value out of the closer trip. It's the nade that destroyed his. This one won't quite reach, so there is still a danger there. Gone over it to start, and there at least a boombot will reveal the trip on the floor. That's the real danger averted.
gold watch partying radiance and given
Pistols on the retake.
I'm fucking immortal I've watched fucking immortal what do you mean
Good damage. Trips on
lucky
one.
boy. Very, very lucky.
खुद को देखा
I
है
am looking at that 9-4. A lot of the time, one kill is enough to trigger it. We've seen that in the past, especially with pistols. Puts them down to low HP.
ठीक है डिफेंस
And
मैप है वैसे
actually, the
भी
pressure being held on the other side. But now they
बट नहीं ठीक है यार
मतलब
मतलब अटैक मैप है वैसे भी मतलब MIBR निकाल लेगी
You can
अटैक
see
में
why slowly being picked apart and one by one, the defensive side will fall. A good hold from the side of all games.
कैरी कर दो
Shrimp surviving
इंशू
on
आज
just one
रात
HP,
टेकन आ
but they
जाना
won't mind.
आज
That's
रात
more
जा
than
रही हूँ मैं डिनर पे
Honestly, Shrimp surviving is probably the most important factor of that. Because
चलो
if
बाय
not,
बाय
they might
शेरा
decide to
बाय
rifle
स्ट्रीम
through
बैकग्राउंड में
against
खुली
that. I think
रखना
there's a good
थैंक
chance
यू
that they do just spur the moment.
जी
And
कॉफी
he
इफ
put
यू
his
कैरी
through, which gave them the information that there wasn't anybody towards the waterfall.
ठीक है यार कर दूंगी कैरी क्या क्या ही है मतलब इट्स जस्ट अ पीस ऑफ केक फॉर मी यार मतलब कर दूंगी कैरी तो मैं टाइम आउट ले लिया और लाइक फंबल कर रही हूँ मैं डेफिनेटली इन्हें टाइम आउट ले लेना चाहिए क्योंकि जिस तरह का वो प्ले अभी कर रहे हैं ना इट्स फकिंग यूजलेस वो लोग हारे जा रहे हैं मैं जिसको सपोर्ट करती हूँ पहला मैच हमेशा वो लोग डिसअपॉइंट करता है मुझे ये टूर्नामेंट ही मनूस है वहाँ क्या है सोसाइटी डिफेंस मैप ही नहीं अटैक मैप
Global Esports. And then from there,
तो तुम्हें पता है जब मैंने खेला था ना एक मैच तो मुझे वाकई लगा था ये डिफेंस में और ऐसे ऐसे ना हम लोग डिफेंस में बिल्कुल हार रहे थे इट वाज लाइक 12-1 some shit and हम लोग ने वहाँ से कम बैक किया था और हम लोग जीत गए थे बाय द वे एंड मैंने बहुत सारे ऐसे कम बैक्स देखे हैं इस मैप पे अटैक में स्पेशली तो लाइक हर किसी का अपना अपना पीओवी होता है मुझे लगता है अटैक में पे अब आई डोंट नो तुम लोगों की साइड से चलो मी आल्सो गो बाय बाय बैकग्राउंड में
I think it was GeForce and went, oh, they got all gamers next. They're going to get through that game, and it
Let's
was
go.
underestimating their
I hope
opponent.
ये टाइम
and
आउट
also
वर्क
all
कर जाए
gamers
इनके लिए इनके
being a
फेवर में
decent
हो
squad. Like they've got some very talented players on their side. Now, sure, the names are on the other side, and well. An early fake plant, but that fake hasn't really done too much. It's been spotted. It has pulled 3 players over, but again, they can get back. Verno under serious pressure, though, and now the response being attempted.
Oh, whiff हो गई इसकी whiff हो गई. What the fuck?
Mazina was a bit too quick, got ahead of the rocket. But a kill's kill, that's all that matters. Vangear, oh, he's going to be taken out by Aspas, an angle he checked just
Hi
moments
Raptor
ago.
Emperor, welcome to the stream.
हाँ,
silver lobby में हो जाता comeback, silver नहीं थे by the way.
GeForce somehow gets away with that kill. The spam taking him low and Aspas taking him out. Leaves it 3v2. Still a chance for all gamers here. Kira, the unknown quantity, the later play through mid. No nade left to play with. Oh, that's tough. Shrimp's being caught by the seas.
Oh my god.
Out of the
Oh
round.
my
The
god.
damage done. Looks
But
good
कर
for
क्या
all
time out guys
gamers.
इनके लिए
Aspas
अच्छा
and
खेला है
Tex
उन्होंने काफी अच्छा
holding
खेला.
on for dear life by a thread, but they've made it through. It's the second round for MIBR.
I feel like it's been the case in both rounds where Aspas has found the most impactful kills to sort of turn it into their favor, like having to deny what was an incredibly fast take. And sure, the spams helped pushing players into his position.
इसकी ult कैसे
But
whiff
they
हो
still
गई
expended an
मुझे
awful
समझ
lot
नहीं
into
आया
this round.
वैसा.
And of course, for the attack side, having a few in a row, they should comfortably be able to buy back into this one.
ML इतना irritating लग रहा है. ML क्यों है? MIBR इतना अच्छा तो था.
This now needs to be the springboard for the defense. A few players surviving, give them a bit of extra to buy back up with, but they would still be in trouble in the next round if they were to lose all their players.
Well, we have certainly seen the patience from all gamers.
घंटा लग जाता है दरवाजा बंद होने में भी भाई.
Full default in play. By this time covering the vice wall for that A aggression, making sure there's no early flank. That's a risky blast pack, but a lot of information garnered, but a player lost. Tex gets out. Aspas, of course, is no trouble. Being able to dash right back to the site, and for their trouble, all gamers get an orb, but they're a man down, and Shrimp down as well. It's a player who's really helping to clear these angles and get you into sites. Gotta go a bit more blind now.
Yeah, I feel like he still has been
I
the guy to
think,
pick up quite often earlier in the rounds. Like they have been using the prowess, but he's currently 1-6 and having a bit of a rough time. And some of their earlier matches, he was incredible. He was by far their best player. But that does also mean, as said, from the 4v5s, all gamers have done a good job at recovery. Into the site they go. Again, the trip is there, but it's been spotted. They haven't broken it though. They didn't break it. The boom ball went through, but it goes straight back online. That gave Tex a freebie, and now Aspas is the defender of the site.
Crazy holding भाई. बहुत अच्छा hold किया इन लोगों ने side को.
Online. Sure, it was only the 1-for-1 trade, but it did make things a little bit easier for Tex.
Yeah, listen.
I think he's there.
If Tex is gonna, I actually looked over where you.
You did. Well. I was thinking.
I was like, Tex is there. I think he's playing, bro.
Did you sleep okay?
Confused me. I don't.
आसपास के बराबर में कौन सा है?
I overslept last
कौन
night.
है?
Now it's starting to catch up on me.
You look straight into a wall like,
Yeah.
no, he's not.
Where is he?
No, oh,
The
wait, he's
blue
on the
light?
stage.
Okay, well, that was a confusing moment for me. But as I'm sure that last round was for all gamers, giving away the pick and giving Tex the opportunity, and it seems like MIBR capitalizing on every chance they're given. A 5 versus 3 right off rip. We said it's
भाई
been these
crazy
slower
खेल रही है
rounds from all
MIBR
gamers.
अब से.
But this was an attempt to change pace, to challenge for that A main that MIBR have been throwing utility at early, at least trying to manage, that all gamers have been leaving the vice wall outside and conceding the space, fighting late for. This time they go aggressive, and it does not work out, at least to start. They've got themselves A main, whoop-dee-dee, but I think the orbs are about the biggest reward they've got.
Zekin है उसके बराबर में.
two
अच्छा
for one.
खेलता है यार.
2 for 1 all.
Cute सा
Trade.
भी है. आसपास और Zekin दोनों ही cute
Not
से
the
हैं.
greatest deal on earth.
I'll take it.
Again, they've ran into a
Oh
hole.
fuck.
This double
Valorant
duelist
के
1-2
देने साथ
punch
हैं.
is one of the most terrifying on earth, especially facing into a high-low.
ऐसे ऐसे पीक देना.
You'd bet your house on one of them to hit it. And that's exactly what they've done. For Shrimp, well, he's alive later into the round. Nice work from Hero.
Zekin को
They've
लेंगे
got to be
हम
careful.
लोग.
They've already
Raise
lost
diff
1,
होंगे
2
ये तो.
v4 in this game, and I think that's why we saw the pause. A 2v5, and they might have to use their second.
One more for Kieran. It's a showstopper.
Crazy यार इनका Cypher भी बहुत अच्छा खेल रहा है. Honestly speaking इनका Cypher बहुत अच्छा खेल रहा है.
Go to 0. Still gets out with the showstopper for the next round, but for MIBR after what was, as we said, round 2, there were signs of life. They won round 3, but then started to get shut down, and it seemed like all gamers were going to
क्या
run away
होल
with
किया
this.
था इन्होंने वैसे
Bai was
ये ना
having
अगर
fantastic
मेरे
impact
साथ
on the
जो
lurks
मेरे लोग
in terms
खेलते
of
हैं ना अगर
denying
वो
the
ऐसे खेलना
retakes
सीख
as
जाए.
well. I don't even think we saw the Thorns delay as much as they could have, but
क्या ही बात
it
होगी.
worked because when they pushed in, the flash was there to catch. Now things have stalled out massively. 3 rounds in a row, and a convincing start to that one. I think it's no surprise that they go for the timeout.
Yeah, and I think similarly as well to what we saw from
GG है. ML will win.
Those trips have been
ML
really
नहीं है.
annoying.
MIBR
Like
बोलो
when they
मेरे
tried
लिए
to get
ML
into
बहुत
the
नहीं हूँ
seaside,
अब. ML
or
क्या
A,
है? ML नहीं
I think
होता
we've
है
seen
यार.
multiple
MIBR
kill
बोलो
trips,
ना.
which a lot of the time
MIBR
you're going to be able to
लगते ना.
avoid it,
ML
especially
क्या
if you
है?
have the
अच्छा
likes
नहीं
of
लग रहा.
Raze. You can use that nade to good effect to try and get rid of some of the angles that you're pushing. But then, like, hitting it with a boombot, not breaking it, those are silly mistakes. And I think these are moments that you're going to want to see the coaching staff pick up, because then you go for a harder, more aggressive, let's just fight A, and you lose both fights immediately. That's a little bit more worrying. And seeing some of the superstars on MIBR, that's why there's so much sort of pressure, but also put in high regard on this team. These are players that from top to bottom we've talked about as superstars of their team. I even think like one of my favorite players to watch of all time is Mazzino back in the crew days. That guy has unbelievable individual talent. So you're then looking at the likes of Aspas and Tex getting going. Maybe you want to pause just to try and slow them down a little bit, which is easier said than done.
Well, Tex at least, it's been high impact off of his utility, be it on the A or the C site. Now he swapped up to the B site just to be more of a headache. Any adaptations that they had around his impact will now have to be readjusted. And it does appear that all gamers are going for this approach. Look at where the Vice wall is, and look at where Vice is. The gap here is a seat push, and this is because they intend to be relatively quick. Making presence towards the A side, opening the door, sure. But I think this is a B split, which is the perfect round for MIBR when they have put all of their fortifying utility towards that site. They've got players in position in the form of Aspas with big utility, or big ultimates in the back pocket in the convergence path.
I think it's not a B split.
Oh no, I think they've adjusted to A. The spike's
Yeah.
going in.
What?
They're gonna go for it.
They've ended up with a lot of space.
Weird Vice wall for this.
भाई नहीं भाई नहीं भाई मैं नहीं बर्दाश्त कर पाऊंगी.
It's definitely a bit of a gamble, and there is Shrimp. Said he's been the hero of a lot of rounds. It's only going to be the one as well for Aspas off the back of his ult. Berno a little bit further away. And this contact through the smoke was hoping for so much more, and it gets almost nothing. It is a quick round, or quick close, I should say, for the attack side. And after the pause, they're able to immediately find a response. But that's going to be a frustrating one, because as you said, it looked like the setup was going to be correct. I think especially more of a default round that you get with a low buy is heading in towards that B site. But they get caught trying to walk through utility.
Yeah, you know, it's very weird because the whole round to me looked like all gamers were primed. Like that Vice wall is so weird to put if you're covering the B wall.
Apparently the L is for loss grants पता नहीं क्या बोलते हैं इसको. The Brazilian organization they are representing in the EWC kinda like Falcons or Liquid. Oh, I see. Guys क्या कर रहे हैं? क्या कर रहे हैं? Time out ले लो guys. तुम लोग का time out work कर जाता.
And the reward, Aspas in the ground, Mazzino following, and a showstopper to drop second. All gamers looked like they had slowed down, but they just took a break. They're right back to winning ways.
Thrifty, what thrifty?
Just shut out by a player walking across, and it was definitely something that they were not aware of. Verno trying to fight back alone. Bear in mind the economy of MIBR is not in a particularly good spot. And the Tech's going for a 1v5. I'll be honest, that seems really audacious. Holding on to the weaponry, at least from my perspective, holds a
गाइस
lot
मैं
more
जब भी
value
किसी
than
को
attempting
कल भी
an
मैंने ना
all-in
उनको
gamble
सपोर्ट
of
किया
a
था
retake.
EDG को ना EDG थी ना हाँ एडवर्ड गेम
I think for
उनको
the
मैंने
start of
सपोर्ट
this,
किया उन्होंने इतना गंदा खेला था कल
they were
इतना
missing
गंदा खेला
compared
था
to
ना
the
मैं
normal setup,
बहुत
right? You see
डिसअपॉइंट
that
हो गई
rubble
थी
fight. Normally, you've got your Omen TPing up, taking the rubble control.
और
You've
अभी
got
ये
a
लोग
Neon
देखो ना
sliding
मतलब
through.
ये
In
लोग
this
ट्राई
case,
कर रहे हैं
Megan
ऐसा नहीं है
Aspis
मतलब गुड
diving
स्कोर
deep, but he had the
वो लोग
op, so
भी
he didn't
खेलने ही
want to.
आए हैं
He
आफ्टर
didn't
ऑल
go for that
बट
last round,
स्टिल
and that
यार
small gap left
वो लोग
was
और
enough for
अच्छा
all
कर
gamers to
सकते
step
हैं
in and take that control. Now a buy for
I
MIBR
don't
that
know.
sees a weak weapon on Aspis, and Mazzino, but the rest on a full buy, and the adjustment is there. The dash up this time quickly clears rubble after the nade. They know that there's no one here,
सी पे
but all
कोई नहीं है
gamers have changed pace. No longer this direct approach. No longer looking to steal the map control or wrestle it out of the hands of their opponents. Instead, they pick
गाइस
the
जो भी
brakes
स्ट्रीम पे नए
again.
हो गाइस स्ट्रीम
And
को लाइक कर दो
I've
चैनल को
really
सब्सक्राइब
liked
कर दो
watching
बेल आइकन को
the
प्रेस कर दो
variance of how they're approaching this. I think it's very hard for MIBR to read this pace.
नहीं नहीं टैक्स
Oh
मत
yeah, it
देना
creates an awkward line in the sand, and especially when you have this double duelist, you want to be putting pressure on. So you're going to have early map control, but then they've
I
been
think
happy
it's-
to sort of default back late into the round.
ए
At least in this one, all of Tex's utility is
MIBR
Gone.
अपनी मैप पिक पर है
45
हार
seconds
रही है
left as they look to try and clear positioning once again.
कैन
This time there is a player up close, but he's already been caught. Berno, we've seen him get cleared from this position, but they're looking to try and battle and brawl for this, really try and fight for this. And it even seems like they might have had the expectation that maybe they would just leave, but no. They're continuing this pressure and now going all the way back. They've played
What
the late
it's
lurk
it's
so
what
perfectly
hell no
that, okay, they're eventually going to take their space, maybe worried that there's a trip, as there has been almost every single time, but there's nothing Tex can really do about this.
No, forced to give them the plant.
भाई
As I
फिर
said,
भी इन
this
लोगों ने बहुत
pace
फास्ट
from all gamers has been a nightmare in this round, even more so, but it's Showstopper!
भाई फाड़ देना फाड़
It's
देना
a lifeline for all gamers. That could have been a double opener, but instead, the numbers, they say even for now. MIBR kept back, and with the op taking Mazzino out and Aspis, they have no choice but to concede. Surely, no, they press on, they press forward into Fangir. A 4K for the Neon as all gamers push up to 7. A guaranteed lead at the half, and what a resurgence from this squad.
I'll be honest with you, I thought he won them the round with the first op shot that he hit, and then he hits 3 more after that. That is a beautiful round from Fangir, because 𝐁𝐿 was, I want to say, 0.2 of a second from eliminating 2 players on his team.
I think he clicked the second he died. Like that was ridiculous.
It was such a fast reaction shot, and then everything else from there on was just perfect from Fangir. It's an operator that I don't believe he would have even bought. It was one that he picked up off the corpse of Aspas, and then
वर्नो
used
कुछ
it to
कर
their
ले
own demise.
वर्नो कुछ
It
कर
was
ही
a
नहीं
level
चलिए ही नहीं
scoreline,
इनका वर्नो
came a pause for all gamers, and now they find themselves with a pretty hefty advantage. For the last one, I put them out of sight.
Zeno claimed the orb outside A. Nightfall now for MIBR. If all gamers go for the B push, and listen, any other team, look at what the Vice wall is.
ये
Look
बहुत
at where all
fake
5
खेल
players
रहे
were
हैं
just moments ago.
इनको
Any
ये है
other
कि
team,
जहाँ मिल
I'd
गई
already
ना
be
पिक
saying, and here they go, they're ready to break into the B site. But I've learned my
easier.
lesson. I've learned my lesson from these guys. They play a very weird game.
प्लीज फेंक
I
दे
don't think I've
प्लीज
seen
फेंक दे
around like that. They give up all control, go late back towards it, look to fight. Nade's perfect, by the way. It's caught Mazzino. It's left him down to 46 HP. It's got the Nightfall out of them as well. Hey, this is such an annoying game to play against because for MIBR, of course, you want to go pushing up. Of course, you want to take space, you want to find information. And as you do, you lose Mazzino now. Your low HP player, you flood back out through these doors with no idea that a flank is on its way. The ult now popped, and look who's right behind you! Fangir! Beautiful from all gamers. They are playing a cerebral game, and MIBR,
यार
they're not even coming close to getting
दे
a
ही
read.
था देखो
It's just perfect. We said it. They had one bad round in terms of timing, where Bai ends up getting caught. And since then, since the pause, every single double back or wrap around has been utterly perfect. A player that goes from being the hard entry, goes into a lurk, goes back to hard entry, back into lurk again. Like, you've got to be sat there on the other side of MIBR trying to call this going, okay,
मैं किसी
they're
को support
pressuring
नहीं कर रही
A,
हूँ,
let's
guys.
take B. There was a guy B, let's go back, let's hold there. And you're just having to wrap around consistently. And then when you're finally in the fight, you go, okay, they are A. And then someone swings you from behind and kills 2 of your players.
I genuinely
हो रहा है
think
मुझे.
of all the games that we've cast, of all the games we've watched so far, this map in particular, because we've cast even all gamers before, and I wouldn't say this was anywhere near the level that they're putting up. This is some of the best calling on the attack. And I know that because I'm just trying to imagine playing against it. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the MIBR players and pretend that I could actually hit shots as well. And it's so annoying because they give you so many false signals. You're pushing early, you're seeing the space is clear. They fight back for that space late. So late that it seems that that's clearly where the hit's coming in. And then there's a double flank from the other side. Sometimes they wrap all the way back to the other side of the map. Really impressive stuff from them. And again, this started out, I felt like MIBR were the ones to take command of this series, but it has been anything
यार तुम लोग को क्या
It's
लगता है?
been very impressive.
अटैक में कर लेगी क्या MIBR?
And it also forced MIBR into basically doing very similar things. Like, I think one of the main problems I had was you look towards rubble. This spot, thank you, that was perfect. Unintentional, but perfect. The amount of players that I saw play on that rubble wall, either get by a nade or hit by a seize, they were saving a piece of utility every single round to kill that player. And I don't think once I saw them get out alive.
Well, this is the thing. They were doing that before they were even competing for that spot. And that's why you can then have Omen TP across, because they throw their first utility, and then they don't fill that space in because they know that you're going to fight for it or at least throw utility there. So they play a little further back, and now your Omen's able to slip the net and get behind Aspas and take down the first Aspas op we saw bought. Like, I'm so
people with it.
Yeah, literally the next one use that same weapon. I'm
क्या
so
यार ये
impressed by
लोग
what
बहुत
I've
अच्छी
seen here.
डिटेलिंग दिखाते
Even
हैं
just from round like 4
actually.
onwards.
जो कि हमें भी नहीं पता होती
I
like
thought
हमें
MIBR
क्या
were getting
मुझे
back
तो
into
मौका तो
things.
नहीं पता मुझे तो नहीं
Round
पता
2
होती
was close,
especially.
round 3 was good, and then for all gamers, they just ran away with things. Back to the pistol now. MIBR get to play out this attack side, and I'm curious to see how all gamers approach the defense. You can see Vice set up. The wall is covering the A push. There's a flash that won't last very long on B after that initial burst.
Yeah.
Not the site. Put themselves in a post plant with
मार दे बाई को मार दे ब्रो बाई को मार दे केले मत जा
pushed
यार
up and he knows his opponent's on the other side. Both players, in fact, have the information. The attackers fall back and almost force their opponents away from that position. Although saying that, Buying now goes into a later flank. Paranoia is perfect, but they're going to stand close. And that means that kills all too easy. Kira in position to try and trade some of this back, but the shots aren't firing. Eventually does get one, but the trades are just too thick and too fast. Leaves only one standing, and by the last man in will
What
fall
do you
as well.
think?
A
मैं
lifeline for
मुझे लगता है
MIBR,
निकाल
a
लेंगे
pistol.
अटैक में कर लेंगे
Lose this
I think
pistol,
so.
and I think all gamers are running away with it, but claiming this should at least give them that little injection of rounds, close in the gap, provide that opportunity to fight right back. But to be honest, what I'm most afraid of isn't even necessarily the score line right now. It's that Fangir seems to have hit a gear that we didn't see him on throughout the last few games. And GRQ, 13-6, he has been a consistent factor for this squad. Considering that he's shown up, Fangir's been there, and Bai's been having a lot of space on those lurks. I think here, early flanks could play a role. Nah, that's not going to work. That's a nice try. A little smoke in mound. I love the attempt on the classic Bai, but MIBR, they've got that cam to clear.
I do think it's good, though, that now MIBR get the opportunity to set the pace. Like, I think Verno's been having a rough time trying to deal with everything that's been thrown at him from the all-gamer side. But now you get to define where those battles are. Even if you end up walking into a stacked site, at least you have the execution utility. Not bad from Bai already, though, of course, for MIBR. This is a slightly lighter purchase, just a couple of rifles alongside pistols and a marshal. They can, of course, buy into the next round, but it's mainly those couple of guns you don't want to lose, and so far it's looking so good. They'll keep everything onto the board, get themselves up to 6, And then maybe even have an upgraded rifle or two to go back
मैं
into
बोले
this
जा
one.
रही है फिर मैंने रियलाइज़ किया मैं बाइक पर था मैंने कहा बहुत अच्छा किया
MIBR
बाय तो जीते एटलीस्ट
looking to pick up, but this is the real test coming up now for them. All gamers in with a full buy. Bangir playing the outlaw. Looking at the other side, there's not too many players that he can catch with that one shot, but MIBR are going towards A. There's going to be a nade coming their way. There's going to be a paranoia prep for GRQ. In fact, it's only the boombot to start. Gears keeping the nade a little bit later.
आसपास का शॉट देखा मैंने नहीं देखा था एक्चुअली मैं
Probably eaten a bunch of
गेट
those
खोलने
HD
गई
bars.
थी एक्चुअली मैंने नहीं देखा देख लूंगी हाइलाइट्स में आ जाएगा
Still with the C's and Nate. Prowler ready to go through, should grab the information, but
X is almost dead.
yeah, he's been exploring the
एक
C
वॉल
side,
बैंग
but
मार
the
दे
outlaw
मज़ा ही आ
ends up.
जाएगा
Bear in mind, there's an outlaw on either side, but at least for now, the one it will maybe benefit even slightly more is Aspas, because there are 3 players on the other side that will take that as an operator. Again, a slower pace with Bangir just trying to find out information. He gets it,
बहुत
spots
low है,
multiple
Dex
players on that
बहुत
side
low
of
है।
the map, and now there's somewhat ruse that's being sent on A. Doesn't hold anywhere near as much value. The defense are actually giving nothing. They're just sitting all the way back, similarly to what we saw on the other side. But it's whether or not they can bait the rotations the right way. And looking at a solo defender of GRQ, who's about to get some support, but will it be too little too late?
सही क्या है बैक हो
He
गया
can still
भाई
get out of here. Still with a shrouded step if he needs it. And he may well need it. He's sticking around. He's looking for the battle, and Aspas has got him!
Oh!
And Kira! A headshot on that second
भाई
swing!
आसपास गोट है भाई
Bought them all the space to get this plant and a man advantage under their belt as a result. MIBR have just been gifted the upper hand by Aspas.
Yeah, it's the gift you get when you purchase one of the best players to ever touch the game, and that double opener sets them up in
उसको
aggressive
दिखाना
positions.
हाँ उसको दिखाना
Fangit maybe hopeful to get something here, and now they've spotted the remaining player. It's the 1-2 punch.
What
The
क्या
bait
मारा
taken.
हाँ भाई
Mazino
क्या
with
मारा
an easy
भाई
frag in the end.
crazy
Fangit has no choice but to try and run for the hills. And what started as a bonus round that had a Marshall and some weaker weaponry, even the Outlaw in the mix for Aspas, which, well, clearly wasn't a weaker weapon, now turns into them currently having 4 rifles, some mass upgrades, and a fantastic start to the second half.
For Aspas to get the first kill was impressive, but to then swing deep with 1 bullet left in the Outlaw, he had 100% confidence he was hitting that headshot, and for good reason too. Like, look at this, 1 shot left, and he goes, screw it. Does he know that guy's low? No, he doesn't have a clue. He thinks I need to hit his head, or I'm gonna 140 and probably get traded. But we got 10 seconds. We need a plant. Screw it. Throws it out there. It works in all games now.
मैं तो
After a
कुछ टिप्पणी
strong first
देती ही
half,
नहीं
an
अपनी जब
8-4
तक मैच नहीं
scoreline where
खत्म
they
होता
did look like they had their hands glued to the reins. Now it's come back
Guys,
to
my
bite
hair
them.
is
That
not
gap
hearing
has
today,
closed
I don't
into
know.
just 1, and MIBR hot on their heels like this gets a timeout from that side.
Yeah, the last pause they had was what took them from a 4-4 scoreline all the way to winning the half.
Yep.
This will be their second pause taken. And for Ed 101, this is an opportunity to potentially do the same again, like try and get them back. Because this is definitely not the end of the world so far.
हो
But
जाएगा
I
इस
think you
round
definitely
में
see Aspas able
Really?
to basically fight 2
चलो
players at
let's
once and come out
see
on
भाई
top, and
क्या होता है
you do start to worry a little bit that this map could slip away from them. And of course, for MIBR, this is important because they are going into what is their own map choice split coming up next, which I think is still a fairly comfortable pick for them. I was maybe surprised that we didn't see all gamers go a slightly different way. But you're not going to want to go in with a deficit, and they are still currently around behind, although the signs of this attack side have been fairly promising.
Well, it looks like all gamers have got a decent read early on. They've gambled correctly. 3 players towards the C site. Prowlers going out on A, trying to distract, but MIBR unknowingly still walking into this stack. Paranoia is perfect. It's got so many, but that page from Tex, that saved them all. There were 3 players blinded and easily about to be taken down. A single
Hello
cage.
आसपास calm down who
They
hurt you
get
bro
to take a breather, to reset, to fight on their terms and put a 5v3 on the board when the smoke fades. It's not going to look pretty for Kira. Even with 2, it's left Shrimp alone, weaponless
Shit.
against the odds.
He's not been having the greatest of games individually. Started incredibly slow and
गेम कितनी वहाँ गर्मी कितनी वहाँ कहाँ वहाँ
a round where expectations at this stage are almost zero. MIBR have managed to negate the stack with relative ease, considering the initial setup looked incredibly dangerous. Now 𝐁𝐿
ले लेगा second की
is
पे
already tagged low and will go down. But the remaining 2 players full HP and looking to try and play this together. 3 bullets remaining in that Sheriff, but the main problem is the time. Needs to almost be on that defusal already if they're going to get it to half and try and bait players in. And that is the goal. Another nice shot from Shrimp.
No
The problem
fucking
is
way,
the second player
it's,
may be expected to be further away. It's a crazy shot again from Shrimp. But unfortunately, that clock was already gone. A nice
but
amount
guns
of
down
damage
कर
in a
दी
low
ना
bar round.
उसने that's
And well, MIBR are a little bit lucky to
तुम
even
कराची
get out
से
with
नहीं
it.
है
I think
बेटा
they realized at the end, if he gets it half, he has a chance. But if I stop him now, he doesn't. And that was incredibly close. A millisecond either side. This completely changed the game. And that's in a number of different fights. Kira did remarkably well to find 2 up top. Lucky that they were throwing the C's nade as the smoke faded, so 2 of those players weren't ready to fight.
33 है
Close
yeah
as they made it, costly as they made it. The MIBR still have decent credits even after the bye. They come in here, the convergence path on the attack side. And all gamers want to get aggressive right away. They've decided to try to catch Kira, and he has been stunned up
नहीं यार
by the
नहीं
convergence
यार
path.
नहीं
No chance with the showstopper, yet it's still a couple kills back in their direction. Fighting through the doors with great success.
Yeah.
All gamers have a man advantage.
If anything, Kira with the showstopper kind of saved the rest of his teammates. Nightfall now being thrown out as well.
what
Burno sat in the corner, but Vangia was still a
Silent
relative
की ऐसी
unknown.
की तैसी हूँ
The attack side looking to try and take space on the other
Lahore
side of the
se
map, but it
onwards.
caused in a massive deficit. Well, Tex might be in trouble between 2. I think the rifle might have been spotted. Just the tip is enough to give the game away, but Tex has managed to escape, but will he escape by timing? Couldn't be any worse. Just as he drops down, and now Aspas will walk into the same man. Lead not taken by MIBR just yet, as a breakback is immediate.
Oh, that's essential for all gamers to stand their ground there. I think if they lose the lead and then end up on an eco, MIBR have all the momentum to just run away with this. But standing tall in this moment, a bunch of problems there with like the Nightfall not hitting, and yet they're aware. They're filling in the gaps in those fights. The showstopper being caught by the convergence path, but
Actually saving, yeah.
Yeah, it ended up working out favorably for them, and for MIBR trading out that ultimate. And they come into this one away from a showstopper, and I think 𝐁𝐿 finding that orb would be a death sentence. They look to defend it though on all gamers. They lose Shrimp right off rip,
okay.
and there's the orb for 𝐁𝐿. He gets it on a blind spam. The nade almost lands perfectly, but Vangear dodges it. Now has backup as well. The problem is they're going to know exactly where these players are, and
Oh, yeah,
No way
that was an immediate cancel from Aspas. You could see he was about to dive in and then goes, oh, there's 2 there. No, I'm not doing that anymore. Well, we can just play with the rotation. 𝐁𝐿 has just turned on this round, though. A shot through the smoke, a shot in a pixel gap through the door. Now the remaining 2. Again, there's been a lot of rounds where I feel like MIBR have had ridiculous advantages. But this one, I like how they played it. They have just paused. They've stood still. They know there's trips on the other side of the map as well. One holding B, one holding A, so they cannot be flanked without that information. And because they just stood completely still, the All Gamers players went, okay, I'm going to get aggressive on B, try and find info. You go aggressive on A, let's try and get something. And, well, they might get 1 kill at least onto Aspas. But other than that, it should be much, much tougher. Although I am looking at the attack side splitting up and looking for clues. I'm going to be honest, I don't like the current positioning of the MIBR players. They're giving chances. But in the end, it doesn't matter.
yeah, I mean, considering how, Shrimp in a 1v3 with a Sheriff almost won the round, I wouldn't really be playing that confident, but spreading the net has its purposes. Find those players. Hopefully remove their weapons. A lost rifle for MIBR won't quite sting as much as deleting all those finances for all gamers, especially with how things have been going. Majority of rounds falling into those attackers' hands, but it looks like Fangir has managed to fly under the radar for now.
Well, that is the one thing I will say, though, is that for all gamers, they can rebuy no matter what. So if you lost too many weapons by getting aggressive, it would have actually hurt them more than if they took all of the guns away. So clearly feeling like their opponents were going to save the second they didn't spot them on the side. But this was the second round. Again, we know that the peak potential of what this man can do. In fact, there's a man sat just over there who definitely knows the peak potential of what 𝐁𝐿 can do. Yes, Rob Moore is back. Well, this is a much faster take coming out from 𝐁𝐿. Showstopper, he's got the support of his teammate to at least hold on to the space. 4 players outside of this A site, and they've got to be a little bit careful, but it's only space taken, no lives.
That's okay. Crowd control was all they wanted. Now they can just fade away from where that ulti's coming through. 2 players still going to be caught by it. The Nightfall right back should slow down all should, but it might not. The shorty up close here, a death sentence for Kira. He was 20 HP, swinging that angle, and Tex has torn them a new one.
Mic off है.
Although, hold on, it's not over just yet. The big swing in leaves all gamers ahead. They were behind moments ago, but now neck and neck in this fight, coming in from both angles. GRQ isolates the fight to start, and the swing in from Fangir is beautiful. All gamers looked like they were falling behind. The chances slipping through their fingers, but they got their grip back on this map just in time.
They did well to hold every
W streamer.
Because you looked at the amount of counter ults, you mentioned it, the Nightfall, but they'd already claimed
वैसा
that
अक्सर
space.
ये हो
And
जाता
were still
है.
fighting through it, even with having some of that later HP. It left MIBR with not really any map control to try and hold on to. Like,
क्या
they're
हो गया, क्या हो
basically
गया?
boxed in on that B site, and because of that, it made it very, very difficult to avoid any utility that was thrown through, any ultimates that took their guns away. The back and forth
Op
continues
लगा
in
ली
that
उसने.
matter.
Crazy.
Operator now in as well for Fangir.
उसकी ऑफ अच्छी है वैसे. अटैक में भी उसने की थी ना
Wins 2
अच्छी
in a
है.
row might be the one to take the map. Whoa. He's able to get out of there. He takes a lot of damage for it.
Down to half already. 𝐁𝐿 looking for a bit of space towards this B site. The crew right behind him, but they've heard the wall now. Whether to bait it out or it looks like push through it all together. Well, that was the idea. Few players have been isolated. Now left to just 𝐁𝐿.
We're almost all in this together.
Yeah, it's been left behind by the gang. But a plan found, and no real contest from all gamers. They gave that to them. Happy to play the retake, and after how last round worked out, I'm not too surprised. But the difference is they pushed them out of those key positions with the Steel Garden. It's not there anymore.
Oh, different ults to be expended. Already the overdrive, getting one and a second as well. Great work from Fangir once again. Up top is Aspas, needs to land some shots. Has Verno alongside him, and again, the trading is enough for all gamers. This B-site retake, sure, maybe they do need an ult or two, but this time it was the overdrive that did the work.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I realize why they're so confident in the retakes when Fangir's just going to pull BS out like that. Like, he sprayed 2 people down, took barely any damage for it, and is able to get out and reset for a big 5v3 retake. This is insane.
इसको कैसे पता है कि क्या बात हुई?
Really stepped up to the plate in this round, but it's them that get knocked out of the park. And for all gamers, this is all they need. 11-9, 2 rounds in a row, and an eco
Guys, जब
coming
स्ट्रीम
out
पे
of
नए हो
MIBR.
guys, स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो, बेल आइकन को प्रेस कर दें.
We should be seeing overtime locked in, and the timeout from MIBR coming in here. They're going to discuss that. Is it even worth fighting for victory in regulation and potentially throwing the map away?
Can you increase the volume a bit of this?
Tough spot.
इसकी
Mentioned it earlier when they
कर
started
देती हूँ
this
मैं एक
comeback.
सेकंड.
They were 8-4 down on their own map choice.
बहुत
Brought it back
cute
to
है
limit a
आप.
couple of times, but
Thank you, Musajin. Thank you so
Gamers
much. By the way, welcome to the stream.
are the ones that seem to have the extra little bit of depth. I think them running as a unit has really been working out. Like we saw in the first half with them playing with the almost ruse of their push and pull of the map, and then on the defense, their
अब सही है?
retakes have looked
Volume has
fantastic,
been Rahman.
even if it was a 1v3 in some occasions. The last
भाई
pause
फेंगर तो बहुत
of
ही 2
regulation
बार
for
लाइक
either
कर दिया
side. I'll say that as well. It mentioned whether or not the
भाई वो
impact from the
बहुत
coaching staff
इंसेन
would be
खेल
there.
रहा
I
है
think
उनका
especially
ना
for all gamers.
एजी वालों का
Both times that they've taken a pause, they've gone on streaks of rounds. Be it coincidence or not, I think the coaching staff deserves some credit.
Oh, without a doubt, and I think that there has been a
पहले
tangible
फेक
step
फेक
up
पे
from
क्यों नहीं
this squad,
खेलते हैं
heating up
फेक
as the
फेक पे
tournament
खेलो
goes
ना
on. Aspas though comes in to shut one down. Kira, oh,
नहीं
34
किया है।
HP. He's lucky to still be alive after a
Yeah,
few shots
better.
landed.
Okay.
For MIBR, they know there's potentially a weapon to be retrieved in there. I think they still want to hit this C site, but all gamers have battened down the hatches now. I didn't even expect to see
भाई
the
वो
back
जैसे
put through,
आ
but
रही है वो
they're
बेचारा
committed,
क्या भी
even
नहीं
on this
तोड़ा
line
ना
goodbye,
उस
they
पे
saved their credits to fight for the next
Crazy.
round, yet somehow they're winning every battle here. A missed shot from Vangeer.
अभी भी कीरा फेंगर
Do you
बचा है
save it?
guys
think
For all
so, yeah.
gamers, it's not worth even giving them the extra weapons.
oh
Don't want to give an AWP over. You don't want to give another rifle.
Safe है रे,
They'll
that's
be able to
why.
get some upgrades here and there, but that round again was all Aspas. The
हाँ,
fact he was
भाई
able to
नहीं
dive in,
उनके
get an
पास
opener, get his ult, pop the ult, hit I think everyone that was on that site. It
a
looked
lot
like
of
they
them at
lined up.
least.
And then that SMG is nowhere near as weak anymore because you have to hit an
Guys, stream को like
instant
कर
shot, and I
दो
just have to spray wildly while moving all over the shop. So
but यार
great round from
MIBR
him,
जीतनी
and that has been the
चाहिए
case in a lot of this map so far. Like I think if you look at openers, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Aspas is going to have a vast majority of them with what he's been able to do with pistols, what he's been able to do with rifles, and it's been fight backs into the round from all gamers. Well, this time they were unable to fight back. A singular ultimate has been able to turn
और
the tide
सेफ राउंड
and give
जीत
them a
गए
10th.
जो बात है
And here's
और
the
जो
crazy
बाय
bit.
राउंड होता है उस वो
MIBR
नहीं
came in,
जीत
like I
पाते
said,
हैं ये लोग
they saved their credits. They had money for the next round if they lose this one. This was a buy what you can and let's win the next. And yet that kill gets the ult out of them, and that's what immediately turns the
भाई
tide
अल्ट अच्छी थी
in their favor. 10 to 11. It's been Fangear finding a lot of success.
50 let's go यार
late
इंडियन
rounds.
MIBR ही
Early
जीतेगी
leads and heroes for all
hope so
gamers is MIBR. Once again, look towards this C site. GRQ looks to concede that space. He's
हाई
just
W रोटेशन
immediately
होती है
playing
सबके भाई
on the backside. He's already in spawn. After what happened last round, no one wants to be standing on site when Aspas comes barreling in. Because of that, it should be a relatively easy plant.
Yeah, but the one thing that we've been talking about with all gamers is their retakes have been incredible. I like in this scenario, though, that Hex is going to be that dagger in the darkness, the late lurk, but they are currently still watching for it. Even though the plant is coming through on the other side of the map, they're being patient. A nice shot as well off the back of the nade. Forced an awkward position, and there's that patience from Fangir. As said, one of the major dangers, the differences to the B-side takes was having Tex
oh
in the background.
nice shot
Second, though, again, any shot he fires through those doors seems to be deadly, and Kira is low.
Well, they had the plant, but MIBR tried to spread their roots. All gamers come in. They've trimmed the shrubbery, and a great paranoia into the back. It hasn't got the player up top, though. Verno still able to provide that cover. Now the jump in, caught by Verno as well.
वर्णो जाग गया guys congrats
They
वर्णो
fight
जाग
their
गया
way
है
back
वर्णो
into
जाग
this
गया है
round,
hello
back into this
वर्णो good
map.
morning
11 to 11.
That was a good read from the defense initially. Like those opening picks that they found, like the nade comboed to get rid of Mazzino. Then you have the catch on the lurker as well, but it's those three players just hunkered down at the back.
And it's Verno as well, who he was like 1 in 10 or something. He had a really bad start, and that's 2 rounds now I can point to and say, without him, they don't have a chance. They did end up losing one
Aspas
of the
has
most,
never
but
played
this one here,
Melee
that's all him.
or
He saved that backside.
on Lotus other than in this
Basically,
EWC
protected the
really
president.
वो फिर भी अच्छा खेल रहा है आसपास पर मैंने
Aspas
आसपास की
alive
वेले करोड़
long
में
enough.
देखी है इट्स प्रीटी गुड करोड़ में आसपास से वेले ही चलाई आसपास
with
वेले चलाता है अच्छे चलाता है
Stunned through a weaker purchase, but there is a showstopper. I don't know if it's going to be used in this round. No, it's not. Again, another opener. Aspas Fangir in position once
Fangir,
again, though, and he gets
what
through in the
team
blink of
gets-
an eye. The majority of that attack force dissipates, and even a TP in behind. There's plenty of weaponry to be found.
गाइस हो
For
ना
these
कोई दम
defenders.
वम करा के आए हैं
No ultimates to play with. Bono will get his,
हो
but
यार दम
it's
वम करा के आ
viability
गया
in this sort of moment.
मैं जीत गई बेबी
He's just faked that out. That TP was purely for bait purposes.
They were pinging those
Aji,
rifles.
bhai,
Let's get
teen
them and
le
fight our way
gaya
back into
yaar.
this one. A buy up in the next for all gamers, but they might have to fight for OT. But with Verno down, maybe not. Tex, the man who's been a problem. Look at his position. Look at the plant. He has to be quick moving to sight. They're going to see him very early on. He'll cut off the first head of the Hydra, but plenty more remain. Tex, a chance in the 1 versus 1. Has his cam, but look for the fight and he wins it. Tex delivers MIBR to 12 with a huge clutch.
यार टैक्स अच्छा खेलता है आई टेक माय वर्ड्स बैक वापस वापस बोल दो वही वर्ड्स वापस बोल दो
Bangir should have had the play of the round.
बट वो तीन कैसे लगे इट्स वाइल्ड भाई इट्स वाइल्ड वो वाकई कुछ करवा के आए हैं मैं इसको मिले जा रहे हैं ऐसे तो नहीं होता है
You could forgive it. The second look to jump across as bait almost and then gets wrecked. And then because of that, he has the time to flip it back 3 in a row for MIBR. Sure, it was a low buy round, but they're not going to care. And for the defense,
no please stop supporting
they
them
have weaponry. They're in a good position to take us to overtime, but have they been broken by those last couple of rounds?
They've been broken by Tex. I mean, what a Herculean effort in that last.
भाई टैक्स अच्छा खेल रहा था स्टार्ट में भी बोला था टैक्स अच्छा खेल रहा
get to
था
have swinging in early in the smoke. Cool under pressure with MIBR. They've weathered the storm and found themselves to safer waters. At least an overtime guaranteed now. But 13 on the board early is what they want. Prowler again sent to B. We've seen this. MIBR like to push and pull the map. For all gamers, they're left without a read, but if I set up on the A site, should leave them a bit more confident to send forces in that other direction. The thing is, where's MIBR going? This is looking like one of those all gamers rounds. They're playing across the map, grabbing their orbs, and it's a huge fake of the C site, but it hasn't pulled rotations.
At least not yet. And because of that, questions are being asked. 2 ultimates have been used on the A side of the map. It felt like they had the right read, and honestly, about 2 seconds ago they did, but because there was no contact made towards 𝐁𝐮, he's called for the rotations. 12 seconds to get that plant in. Aspas with an operator in a peculiar spot. Now they look to move. If they drop around, I don't know if they've got time to plant it. I don't think they do. All Shrimp has to do is survive, and they've taken it off that alone. 4 attackers will live to tell the tale of a singular kill.
Right in the nick of time.
That's crazy.
They picked the spike up with 3.5 seconds left. Just shy of what they needed. That is a huge play, and all gamers, they deserve an overtime with how they've played, and their attack side is really what looked the scariest.
Oh my God.
But Fangir, every step of the way, has been the shining light, the spark of hope for all gamers. Now they look to fan the flames in overtime.
They're going to see his face in their nightmares tonight. Like, that is genuinely... He couldn't have timed it any better. Like, literally, it's not possible. Gets it on the 6-second mark. Stays alive long enough. And that should have been the end of the game. Instead, OT. Bangir's got to be feeling confident at this stage.
Also, why
Feels like every
covering your
decision he
ears?
makes turns to gold, and
How is this just running
the attack side now
through?
looking
What
to
the
put the pressure back onto Tex.
यार it's
They
like
suffered at the hands of his tribs.
आप पीछे करोगे ना
See how
स्ट्रीम
wary
आपको
they
पता
are
चलेगा
running through that utility, but this time there's no kill trip in that spot.
MIBR have everybody in the waterway ready to come flooding back through. Fangir will be the point of contact, and he'll fall, but who else is here? Who's next to fall? Who's next to challenge? Nobody. Does MIBR find out? The plays come in the other direction, and a great TP from 𝐿𝐴. He's passed the trip very early on, and as they now break it, it might be a bit of false security for Aspas. No, he's clearing it still. He's looking for this player, and he'll find him.
आसपास तो सी गोट हो तो सी
Good work by Aspas to still be wary, even though the trip was broken so late, but he will be caught by Bai in the end.
They've got to be careful here.
best retake.
AG in the post plant, that was where they were truly deadly. By one away from an ultimate.
High low कर लो भाई.
Instead, they're going to look to get aggressive. Timing worked out for them, but 𝐁𝐻𝐿 has his teammate covered, and now 𝐁𝐻𝐿 is all that's left. MIBR, they've not been broken by that previous round. They will now go up to 13. Another attempt at map point on the attack.
Another chance to close this out. Last time, it was a very narrow margin by which they lost out on the chance to start this series 1-0. 16-14 against Heretics. I'm even talking about the last 2 rounds ago.
Oh.
Half a second.
Oh, I let you in the last time they played this map.
Indeed, yeah, that match against Heretics was laborious, and this may be the same. You look across the stage from MIBR, though, and like 𝐻𝐿 blowing our socks off here. Leagues above the rest, but for MIBR, 𝐻𝐿 is as impressive as ever. But the desk highlighted it, hunting down 𝐁𝐿. Was what this was all about, but he proved to be more predator than prey. Dive in from MIBR. They haven't spotted 𝐻𝐿. And now they have, but it's a little too late. He'll still get 2. And with GRQ adding to the equation, it's MIBR miles behind.
Guys, 2v3 hai guys here.
Again, just the decision making. He almost gets another triple kill in a defensive round. And while 𝐁𝐿 is thinking so much about how he can get past the wall, he ends up getting peaked. 𝐻𝐿 has been good. Scratch that, he's been great. He's been so good in opening positions, but
Bhai, this camper
how much
guy.
can you truly hope to find with 39 HP and 3 players?
गुस्सा आ रहा है मुझे.
Sure.
एक बॉल में पड़ेगा मर जाएगा.
Fuck. Puts him down to just 4 HP. He can't afford to take any damage along the way, trying to dodge the boom bot, but even finding his opponent's going to be difficult. Nice shot on the first. That's the ultimate, but the spam is enough. We go again with Bai finding another double and 13-13 score.
Yeah, this is where it starts to be a bit of deja vu for MIBR. Last time around, a similar story. It went the distance and then some. And this time, again, the snake in the grass of 𝐻𝐿 to start this round. The reveal came in just a smidge too late. He'd already got 2, and GRQ, fighting from that open door, was able to trade out to make it an even bigger advantage. Going into the next OT.
मुझे बुरा लग रहा है. अगर ये लोग हार के मुझे बहुत बुरा लगेगा. Who is supporting me?
Slow down at some
MIBR. MIBR.
The answer so far has been a resounding no. Presence to the A site for MIBR. 4 players early on, throwing the Season 8, throwing the reveal. Nothing seen. As now the pace picked up by all gamers, and you expect a very direct hit. 𝐻𝐿 is going to have his work cut out for him in holding this first burst of aggression, trying to snipe one out of the air, but he'll be forced to play the retake now.
It's a little bit of damage. Spike to 𝐁𝐿. 1 away from the showstopper. Could play a part in the late round, but its spam actually takes down GRQ. That's a man advantage now. Another opening kill for 𝐻𝐿 to add to the growing collection. Already though, 𝐻𝐿 is there again.
इस 𝐻𝐿 की ना टांगे तोड़ दूं.
Fallen down, but there's that showstopper. And now 𝐁𝐿 is all that resides once again, and it's 𝐁𝐿 to close. 3 kills for the Rays. Lead taken. The first map point now for all gamers.
Their first chance to close out this series, as said, it felt like they deserved the overtime. It was a crazy first half from this squad. The calls on the attack left MIBR guessing, and they never found the answers that they needed. Now they call a timeout in a series, in a map that they had the chance to close out more than once. And now they have to fight for survival.
मुझे ना अभी भी दुख हो रहा है. वो जब बहुत टाइम से पहले यार वो स्पाइक प्लान कर रहा था. Fuck यार.
The star of the show, just in that last round from the top rope, denying all that space that they were attempting to take back through.
Guys, मैं AG को support कर रही हूँ.
So fun to watch.
ठीक है.
I do keep waiting for that moment where he slows down. I think the worst I've seen from him is a single missed op shot, but the round before he got 4, so I'll forgive him.
I'd almost be a little bit nervous as well if I'm MIBR to take a pause, because you think back and it's been the all gamers pauses that have gone straight into round victories. I think again, Ed 101 has been sublime, and whatever's been said to these players, be it from
Zoom
losing
करे जा रहे
streak of 4 rounds in a
क्या
row
वो
to
आएगा
immediate
स्क्रीन
winning
आएगी वो
3 the
वाले
next 4. The same in the first half as well. 4-4, 8-4 half ending after the pause. He's been impeccable. And now, well, all they need is one. And MIBR have gifted that pause over to the other side. I will say all gamers had the same opportunity to take a pause, but evidently whatever's been said by the players, he didn't feel like it was necessary on his side.
All gamers, they've really grown into this map. They certainly did into the attack side. Now their defense to be tested from what we've seen, especially for Fangir, but the squad overall, every leaf has been a flower.
सी पे सारे हो गए क्योंकि सी ही पुश करने जा रहे थे. Hi, this is Blasty. Welcome to the stream. कैसे हो आप?
MIBR look to go direct to the A side, and this is not ideal for all gamers. A 4-man stack up on C. They had read the favorite site of this attack side, but things change here in overtime. Here after the pause.
B मत जाना खुदा को.
A side is wide open. The Vice utility is there, of course, but nobody to do anything off the back of it. The door opens and the Thorns activate. This may send MIBR back towards this B
कैसे होल्ड क्या हुआ इन लोगों ने रेड कहीं
Vice setup, and you don't know how many players are there.
भाई मैं तो एजी के सपोर्ट में हूँ. एजी, you can do this. Hello.
The terrifying thing as well is, if anything, if you're MIBR, you want those more contacting plays, because the retakes coming out from all gamers have been their best work. Nice shot from Tex though.
शुक्र Fangir को निकाल दिया ना बस.
And manages to get rid of Fangir. He's been the tip of the spear in all of the retakes. Think about it. Using that overdrive, getting in their face while they put the ults through. Him being gone could give them another opportunity.
Well, that's it. We were waiting. What happens when Fangir goes quiet? Well, now a 4v4, and it's all gamers' chance. The break back into this. A 𝐁𝐮𝐢𝐥𝐝 thrown down below. A slow at least to buy some time, and the paranoia does the same. The clock keeps ticking. And now Kira finds the first shrimp with another. Okay, the number's thin, and MIBR are left with just second, standing against the rising tide of all gamers. The tap on the spike, the swing needed. Now it's already half. He'll get the first. He won't get anything else. All gamers wash MIBR away. 15-13. Taking the lead and taking the dub moments later.
It's another nightmare that's probably going to keep MIBR up at night. A second defeat at overtime on Lotus in just a matter of days. But it shows the resilience of all gamers. We said it at the beginning of the game. I think a lot of teams come in, especially teams with high caliber players who've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and go up against this squad and feel like it's going to be an easy road. And every single time they prove it doesn't matter the opponent, they are able to take it close. They're able to battle and brawl. And well, in map number 1, they're able to take the dub.
Yeah, you maybe say there were signs of it up against Heretics for this squad, but now for MIBR, it looks like Lotus might be a bit more of a weak point than we expected, but that's not for us to say. Let's hear from the big brains over on the desk with Degon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mitch and Tom. Great call, and yet again in overtime, it's heartbreak for MIBR on Lotus. They fall to 𝐤𝐿, who clutch it out.
Hello, क्या हो गया Sam, क्या हो गया?
And 24,
हार गए तो हार गए, क्या हो गया? लाना नहीं देना, समझ आ रही है?
Absolutely crazy as we welcome back Kakuka in big time.
जी.
Both teams having hero moments, number disadvantages, crazy headshots. And still, go to overtime, it goes all the way to 𝐤𝐿.
कोई बात नहीं गाइस, अभी सेकंड मैप पे है, थर्ड मैप तक जाएंगे बात, टेंशन नहीं लेंगे तुम लोगों ने और मुझे भी.
Talk about the storylines here at AWC. Look at a man like Fangir. This guy came.
मुझे अभी भी दुख है कि वो प्लांट कर तो रहा था, वहाँ के प्लांट ही हटा दे, मार गया वो उस बंदे को. 3 सेकंड में प्लांट उठ के प्लांट हो रहा था.
No, it's all about me.
टाइम
Guys,
निकल
take a
गया
look
था
at my
ब्रो.
neon. Look what I can do. Look how I
जीत
can
गए
make this
थे.
operator work. MIBR had no answers, and they
Hi
have,
Sukoon
you know,
Gaming,
when we talk
welcome
about
to the stream. The
all-star
fan is
operator
looking
players,
real.
They have the guy. They have Aspas.
Hangable
It
right
do
now.
be him. Seriously, what a fantastic show
Yeah,
and what a
I love
dominant also
MIBR,
start
but
off the
Lion
map.
to have
Do not
MIBR
forget,
very
at the
easy.
end of the day, as we said, they are coming in as being the underdog. MIBR should be the favorite here, but we have to say, all gamers, not for a second, not in this match and not in previous matches, have shown any kind of fear to the opponent that they have in front of them. And what a moment also to be here and be able to witness the way that they were playing it, the way they were celebrating once they managed to get into overtime and get and save that that spike plant that was absolutely insane. From then, The momentum was on their
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I mean, I think they stole away so many rounds. Fangir
Yeah.
did it. The rest did it. My mind goes back to that 5v2 retake MIBR had, but they got shut down because the individual prowess
Fangir
on
की
this
ना ऐसी
AG
की
team.
तैसी ऐसी की तैसी
And
उसकी
MIBR
अजीब
couldn't hang with them in the server there, which feels insane
But
to
अच्छा
say
खेल
when
रहा
we
था,
look
honestly,
at
वो
the
बहुत
names
अच्छा
on this
खेल रहा था
MIBR
Fangir
squad.
भी,
Now, don't
आसपास
get me wrong,
support है second
Aspas
में.
really pulled his weight.
यार
So did
Tex भी
Tex,
अच्छा
who
खेल
he's
रहा
had
था
a little bit of
काफी.
a
I don't
tournament,
know,
and he
like
did a great job on that cipher. But ultimately,
हार
it's
क्यों
not
गए?
enough here on Lotus, and this
Bye
is
guys, hope
MIBR's map
MIBR
pick.
wins.
Yeah, and I know
Bye.
Verno is IGLing
Aseem.
this squad, but he was at 1-9 in the first half.
Tough.
It's very
Come on,
difficult to
yaar,
get yourself
kya
across the line.
solid
He
team hai,
finishes 10 and
deserving.
19, so carried a little bit more, at least going 1-1 in the second half, but it was
Finalist
such a slow
है
start for
MIBR
him.
है ना.
Seriously, the resilience that all gamers they show, and if you add it on top of getting in the head of your opponents, like for example, Verno must have not been having a very good time at the beginning of that map. If you add on so many of the circumstances that they were able to turn around, where they were one
मैं बर्दाश्त ही नहीं कर सकती ये हार. Honestly speaking, ये कैसे हार गए ये लोग? ना मारो टेबल को, टेबल का कसूर नहीं, कोई अनलॉक इन नाउ. अब जीतेंगे. यार आई डोंट नो मैन. वो स्पाइक वाला ब्लेंडर जो हुआ था ना, वो फकअप हो गया था ऑनेस्टली. वो ना होता ना, वो लोग जीत जाते. अभी दिखेगा आई थिंक. ये रहा वो जो फकअप था. कोई बात नहीं यार. एंटी Yo, what's up? Good evening. Hi Vijay, Meeman. Welcome to the stream. We are good. How are you? Menan. International stage है, fumble हो जाता है. No worries, we got this. Let's go. Love from Bangalore. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Means a lot actually. I hope आपको मज़ा आए मेरी stream पे. Thank you. MIBR का मैक पिक था ना ये. हाँ. Vijay Menon. Okay. Vijay Menon. Thank you so much. Love from Pakistan. Guys. कोई बात नहीं. अभी एक और मैप है. अभी बाकी है. हो जाएगा. तुम बॉट. कार्लोस तुम बॉट. चुप हो जाओ. लानत. क्या लानत? यार चुप हो जाओ श्याम, चुप हो जाओ. ठीक है, हो जाता है. क्या हो गया? इट्स ओके. शायद गाइस जो भी स्ट्रीम पे नए आ रहे हो, गाइस स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो, बेल आइकन को प्रेस कर दो प्लीज़. यस थैंक यू. हाउज इट बीन बाय द वे? क्या सब अच्छा जा रहा है? वॉच पार्टी अच्छी जा रही है? अच्छी जा रही है शायद, क्योंकि मैं जिस टीम को सपोर्ट कर रही हूँ वो हार ही रही है. वो जो हुआ है ना, मैं अभी भी उसको नहीं भूल पा रही हूँ. वो जो प्लांट हो रहा था, वो लोग जीत रहे थे वो राउंड, एंड वो फकअप आके उसने प्लांट ही डाउन कर दिया. प्लांटर. खैर आपके टूथपेस्ट में नमक है? हाँ है. लाइफ एंड स्टफ ब्रो. ओ इंशू मैं चला. गुड लक फॉर MIBR. बाय. ओके बाय. लाइफ एंड स्टफ ब्रो. लाइफ बस जा रही है. मेरी हार्ड ड्राइव कल ख़राब हो गई बाय द वे, जिसमें मेरा बहुत सारा डेटा था, बहुत सारी गेम थी डाउनलोडेड, एंड ज़्यादा GB वाली थी वो हार्ड ड्राइव बाय द वे. 500 GB थी. यस. एंड वो ख़राब हो गई है. एंड बाकी सब ठीक जा रहा है. बिल्कुल ठीक जा रहा है. ऑल गुड. सेम भाई. मैंने जिस टीम को सपोर्ट किया वॉच पार्टी में सब हार गए. आई फील सैड फॉर GE है. GE इंशू पर आदमी बन गई है. अब तो इंटरनेशनल क्लब्स हो रहे हैं. नहीं यार, नहीं हो रहे। जेंटल मेट्स को कॉर्ड के वो क्रेजी टीम है। अच्छा मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे आइडिया नहीं है। जीई डोमिनेट करती है लोकल मैचेस और ग्लोबल में फंबल सो हार्ड। जीई कौन सी है? जीई कौन सी है? ग्लोबल ई-स्पोर्ट। ओ ओके ओके ओके, माय बैड। वो तो हार गए ना, वो तो निकल गए, राइट? बिकॉज आई नो द पीपल एट जीई सो वेल, दे आर सो नाइस पीपल। ओह दैट्स नाइस। गोल्ड ग्लोबल ई स्पोर्ट, शी इज़ सो लॉस्ट, लॉल, आई डोंट नो। नहीं याद आ गया, मुझे याद आ गया। माय बैड, थोड़ी सी जोन आउट थी मैं, अभी भी वो चीज़ प्रोसेस कर रही हूँ, दैट्स इट, नथिंग पर्सनल। काइंड ऐसा कुछ नहीं, इट्स लाइक मैंने अप्लाई किया था इसके लिए और मेरा हो गया, दैट्स इट। वरना मुझे सामने से कोई कुछ नहीं कहता, क्योंकि किसी को नहीं पता कि आई एग्जिस्ट एक्चुअली, इतनी इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं हूँ मैं। So yeah, it's okay, it is what it is, yes. It's like अभी भी मैं होप नहीं हार रही हूँ MIBR की तरफ से, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि अगले मैप में कर लेगी यार। ओके बाय आइको, ओके बाय विजय मेनन, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग। बट GE never performs, I don't know why यार। इट्स लाइक हो जाता है कभी कभी, फंबल हो जाता है, कर लेंगे यार वो लोग भी। उन्हें ना थोड़ा सा अपने ऊपर वर्क करना चाहिए कि कहाँ वो गलत जा रहे हैं, कहाँ क्या है, वगैरह वगैरह। इंशू ये सबका एक्सेप्ट हुआ है। हाँ सबका एक्सेप्ट हुआ है, आई नो। हाँ MIBR ईजी, यस, लेट्स गो। ये मैच इतना लंबा चला गया, आई डोंट नो सेकंड करूँगी भी कि नहीं करूँगी, बिकॉज मुझे भी जाना है एक्चुअली कहीं, तो आई हैव टू गेट रेडी फॉर दैट शिट एज वेल। बाय द वे गाइस, जो भी स्ट्रीम पे नए हो गाइस, इस स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो, बेल आइकन को प्रेस कर दें, थैंक यू। और मेरी स्ट्रीम को अगर आप लोग शेयर कर सकते हो ना जितना, तो कर दिया करो यार। गाइस एक गिव अवे कराओ वैलोरेंट पॉइंट्स का, 1000 VP का। आपका पता है जो सबसे लेफ्ट में लड़का है, आपको पता है जो सबसे लेफ्ट में लड़का है, ये इतना प्यारा सा है वैसे तो, अब आई डोंट नो ये कौन है लेफ्ट में, तो यही है, ये वाला ना गाइस, ये वाला ना। एक सेकंड गाइस, मैं चैट पढ़ती हूँ, मुझे एक सेकंड दे दो प्लीज़। चलो क्या ये चैट, बिग टाइम नाम है इसका, ये GE का कोच था, रियली? वो जिस पे मैंने होवर किया था माउस, वो क्रेजी यार, क्रेजी भाई। चलो
To the playoffs as we move across here onto
बिग टाइम
Split.
नाम है इसका।
Yeah, and all
Big
gamers
time.
decided this. They picked
Crazy.
this map, as you can see in the graphic right now for the side of MIBR. They played it last in the
Split है यार,
qualifier
मेरा
here
favorite
to
map है वैसे।
EWC versus
वो अलग बात है, मैं
Leviathan.
बहुत कम
For all
जीतती हूँ
gamers,
इस
they
मैच,
won
इस
on
मैप
it
पे, बट मेरा
against
फेवरेट
Global
मैप
Esports.
है।
They already have a little bit of a rep. To me, it has to be about keeping the confidence. We were speaking about
Jet,
GRQ,
Oman,
the
Raze,
cheeky
Sky,
plays here and
Viper.
there. Guys, we need to learn how to open
Those
angles together.
smoker.
We cannot one
Yeah,
opens the other one
second
TPs,
entry,
and
no
there's
empty.
a third one that just jumps
Hmm.
later onto the side. We still need to work on those synergies. I know that the pressure is
Same-
very
same
high
comp hai.
onto them. They're
What?
still going for the picks. Do not get me wrong. And of course, all the pressure right now.
What the fuck?
is
Same
on
comp hai
MIBR.
इनका.
Yeah, I love it that in this map now, the backs are truly against the wall. It's a pure mirror matchup. Fangear is going to be head-to-head against Aspas on that jet. Everybody
No
knows how
Senti,
to play
MIBR
this comp.
easy.
You know what
उन्होंने
the
भी
other
कुछ
team
Senti
is
नहीं
going to
किया,
want to
bro.
do. It's all about execution.
Crazy.
It's all about who's performing in the server. No excuses left here.
A mirror match here in map number 2 as we head on over to Split. AGAL 1 win away from booking their
अब
ticket into
देखना
the
कीरा
playoffs.
क्या करेगा.
MIBR got to dig deep. They were close on their map pick, but now have to come up with the
बेटा
upset. Let's send it
MIBR
on
अच्छा
over
खेलेंगे.
to
अब
Tom
देखते
and Nick.
टेक्स और सेकंड और आसपास क्या करते हैं.
Thank you,
देखना बेटा.
Deacon. All gamers, one map to the good.
Hey, जब
Stepping
stream पे
into
नए हो guys,
Split,
stream को
Tom.
like
This
कर
is
दो, channel को
definitely a
subscribe
step
कर दो,
up
like
from
and
them.
subscribe.
MIBR,
Thank
a
you.
team that I think almost everybody expects
best
to
comp है
see
Split
in
का.
playoffs, but now they're in danger of going out in the groups.
Yeah, I think especially when you look at the group that they're
यार
in,
मैं तो
I think
छोटी
getting to
लोग
this stage,
प्लेयर
you
हूँ
put
ना.
them up
मैंने
against
कभी
all
डबल
gamers,
स्मोक
and
नहीं
I
खेला है
think,
शायद.
again, if you've not
बल्कि
watched
खेला है.
much of all gamers or only seen the little bit at
Bye-bye.
Master Santiago, you might be going, okay, yeah, they beat one team here and there, but then they weren't able to take anyone else down. Well, this squad is looking legit at the moment. Like, a lot of depth of talent.
Guys,
I
मुझे
think
एक
especially
second
we
दो,
didn't
मैं
see the
पानी
best
लेके
game
आई
from
हूँ.
Shrimp, but there were definitely other players that stepped up while he was fantastic earlier in the tournament. Bangir just had probably his best map of the tournament so far. And we look at the other side and like Aspas was still performing well. Tex had a great map. It wasn't enough to get them over the line on their own map choice. And now coming into Split, still it is their opponent's choice. But I think it's one where they have looked relatively comfortable in the past, like going head to head with some pretty good teams regionally. It's just whether or not, like, if they're going to have enough to take us to a third map.
It's crazy to lose a game as well. Like in that last one, MIBR went +10 on opening duels between Tex and Aspas. Yeah, like it's wild to have it spin back in favor of all gamers like that. But we said Fangear was that savior who pulled back so many of the rounds for them. MIBR starting the attack side here and waste no time getting into the A side. Spike still needs to go meet the rest of the squad. And those smokes, they're not going to last forever. And finally, they will make it through. In the nick of time, the plant, without any advantages found, though. They were hoping that someone from All Gamers would give them a fight, give them a scrap. And now they have to go looking for it. Deep push in towards the spawn. And they've got a foothold now. Now it's more on All Gamers to fight back.
Well, they know they've lost screens. And reclaiming that is going to be difficult. Bai was waiting for them to try and make the move round to heaven. Now the plant is not the greatest for the side of MIBR. In fact, I would say it's a pretty poor one already to half. They need to get a move on. They're just looking to try and defuse it in front of their noses, and nobody gets anywhere near it. MIBR was so ready and raring to try the wraparound, but the plant just wasn't for that position.
That's the danger. They planted for backside. Remember, those smokes were fading by the time that they'd pushed in. It was a couple seconds left on them, but not enough to go planting up for heaven. A piece of utility to disrupt, and all of a sudden you're on the back foot in the round. So instead, they take a safe plant and try to use those sky flashes to fight deep into the spawn. Sure, it works out, but like you said, the plant isn't for there. And the second that All Gamers get some presence on the site, get boots on the ground, it already flips things massively in their favor. That is a big pistol pickup. Fangear again showing that he's still got chops in this mirror matchup. And an eco coming out of MIBR. That's a spam on the back of the tap. GRQ doesn't get anything for it, and hold on. Now he's in danger, never mind. He'll go down eventually, but the work has been done.
Yeah, comfortable in the end. I think as well, that one thing I'm loving the most about Fangear is I think there would be a lot of people who go into this game and go like, look at the careers of the players on the other side. Like, these are players that have been to champions, that have won champions, won masters. Like, there's so much depth in terms of who has been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And Fangear doesn't care. Not even for a second. Like, he's like, I'm going to full stick this, and if you guys are nearby, cool. If not, I don't care. Like, it is just a confident player, no matter who he is up against. It's got to be tough to play against. Now, bear in mind, a few rifles kept over into this round, an SMG for Bai, but there's definitely some vulnerabilities, and because of that, the defense are going pushing.
All Gamers Not scared of their opposition, that is for sure. It's a blitz, but Mizzino was ready. Plenty of backup there. I don't want to see him push that with the spike, and thankfully he does cancel that aggression. Might be time to flee, but MIBR show no signs of running away, of turning tail. Instead, they're looking to fight their way back through. The dog's going to make it awkward. The stun on Shrimp ends his life after one. Good trades for MIBR to start. And the main thing about this is it's dangerous when that low buy comes running at you. It's dangerous when some of your players can potentially be isolated, but MIBR stayed calm and just clumped together to deal with it, obviously with the exception of Tex, who was the flank control.
I liked as well that Werner was just happy to go, I'm going to paranoia my own teammate because he's close enough that it doesn't matter and I don't want to die. So clearly happy to hold their ground, and hey, I don't mind it from all gamers. Like, you got a weaker buy, you got SMGs, I don't even think they had one like full price rifle. So just go for something risky. You catch them, you have a far higher chance to win the round.
Also, I think it's good limit testing as well. Like, you do something like that and you just see, what do the opponents do? Like,
how
do they hear react? 4 of us rushing and they instantly run to the A site? Then we know that a little bit of early aggression could potentially push them into our heavier setup if we want. I think it's a really good idea to get aggro, but MIBR contained that aggression beautifully. That's a rifle now, and he's just going to pop the snake bite and run for the hills.
Yeah, really not bad in terms of a low buy. You get out with an extra gun. You drop 2 of their guns. For MIBR, they'll probably be quite happy with that as well. 3 players alive versus the low buys. They've definitely had some troubles here and there with losing players to pistols. So I don't think either side are going to be too disappointed with that one. But there you go. There's the paranoia. Just go there. Voters like, screw it. If they're going to run at us, they're at least going to be blind while they do it. But this is where the game really should get going. Rifles across the board. Even a outlaw for Fangear being put into play.
यार मैं माइक नहीं चल रहा था.
Seem like there's heavy shields across the board though, so it's not going to be an insta-kill. In fact, he's not going to land the shot at all.
Fangear's movement to get out was nice, but Verno is hot on their heels. And MIBR, they have made this one look incredibly easy. Running it down on that A site and taking every fight with great success. And another sign that's important, Verno online early on. Like we said, he had a really tough start. The desk talked about it as well, but, well, he certainly didn't let that knock his confidence. You could see him straight up into heaven for that brawl, and GRQ finds Aspis at least. It's some sort of reinvestment needed for MIBR. But they're happy to throw themselves at this just to remove the weapons, at least to start. Aspis was.
यार मैं माइक नहीं चला था, तुमने बताओ तो मैं तुम लोगों को पूरी स्टोरी बता रही हूँ कि मैं चॉकलेट पिघली हुई है, ये है, वो है, blah blah. नहीं आप फिर
players that are fully invested into this round. So if we do lose a few more players, it could definitely get costly and sort of ruin that leg.
Guys, मुझे लग रहा है जिस बेदर्दी से मैं खाऊंगी ना अभी मुझे कैम ऑफ ही कर देना चाहिए.
Steam back into the lead. So 2-2 we go. And the question is, for the defensive side, like, saving 2 weapons here.
Guys, MIBR कर रही हैं. Perform कर रही है, guys.
Like a judge on this
I'm
map,
happy.
for example, playing up in heaven. But I think, yeah, playing around those rifles and saving up for the next.
The other thing
Hi, Mahat, Masood, फिर से बता दो.
I think that ultimately,
Thank you so much, by the way. फिर से क्या बता रही थी कि ये जो चॉकलेट है ये इतनी मेल्ट हो गई. मैंने अपने भाई बहनों से छुपा के रखी थी, फिर मैं भूल गई थी खाना. एंड देन मैंने अभी कबर्ड खोली एंड देन आई सॉ दिस चॉकलेट. फिर मैंने अभी निकाली एंड इट्स लाइक लिटरली मेल्टेड एंड आई डोंट नो हाउ टू ईट.
Trying to figure out what the opponents are
But
doing.
yeah, that's it.
Well, you mentioned it. It is more of that
मैंने
half
कहा
buy.
MIBR क्या कर रही है, ये वो फलां फलां.
Pistols already dropped to the deck, and the
But
B
अभी
side
अच्छा कर रही है,
completely
so
under
yeah,
the control of the
nothing.
attack.
Fangear's trying his best to get a pot shot or 2 off. And indeed, a walk up from Bai is quite aggressive. Being caught by Aspis for free. Of course, when you have those pistols, sometimes you try to take your timings. Gotta catch someone by surprise, but
मैं कैम ऑफ करके
hasn't
खा
worked out
लेती.
this time around for all gamers. The 2 rifles that they've got left, a decision perhaps you could carry them through to the next. And they're at least doing that with one of them. Kira's on the A site, and I don't imagine he's going for the latest flank of all time. But for Fangear, he's been good every time. He wants to make it costly, because look at MIBR's credits. Already in an extremely good spot. Winning this round with all 5 alive is going to make this dangerous. The imbalance is going to be stacked against all gamers. At least they carry that one rifle through.
Yeah, and I also want to say I like the
Valorant rank grind when?
compositional switch that
यार
came
मैं
out
office stream
from
करती हूँ.
MIBR, because obviously you look at it on the other side, it's not like they've reinvented the wheel or anything, but I do just look at these agents as comfortable. Like, I love seeing Aspas on the Jet. I think we have done for years. I think 𝐁𝐿 on the Raze also just gives both of them this more sort of aggressive tandem. I think Verno swapping, I believe, with 𝐁𝐿, like one of them now playing the Initiator. They do this anyway, but depending on what the Initiator is. But putting him onto the Omen, we already saw the impact
Guys,
it
मैं
can
ये
have,
chair
with him
इतनी
currently being 5-1
कर रही हूँ
on the board. This looks like a very comfortable composition for MIBR. And even just some of the early rounds, the fact that Aspas is, again, he's taking that aggressive space with the dashes and the follow-up. It's very similar to the previous map, which worked great. Like, that was the bit of their gameplay that was fantastic, was when they get the entry, when they get these more direct plays, their execution is fantastic because the guy at the tip of the spear is one of the best entry fraggers in the world.
Now, like you said, all gamers have been having a lot of success off the back of these timeouts, but this one does feel a little bit more difficult because on the defense, how it's panned out for them so far has been, well, they haven't gotten to play strong retakes, barring those first two. They are constantly having to save. They're constantly having to call it off with 2 players left alive, even there in a 3v5, because they only had the 2 rifles. One guy's going to save. They haven't been able to avoid the early aggression with... Sorry, they haven't been able to avoid the early aggression at all, and they haven't been able to deal with it in those heads-up battles. Think about the A-site full buy. It literally looked like MIBR walked into an eco. In fact, I think it would have been more dangerous against an eco because there probably would have been more players there. So for all gamers, it isn't just about finding the solution. It's about avoiding that early burst, not losing 2 players in the initial aggression from MIBR, and all the while MIBR now come in and pump the brakes themselves. I imagine they're expecting to see some pointed aggression from the defense now. Okay, we can't sit back and wait. We have to instead fight for mid, or we got to push A main, or we need the info early. But that hasn't been the approach. It seems like they're just taking much more passive positions overall.
It might be a change-up because of the operator. Gives you a little bit more of an avenue.
How much ping do you get in Riyadh server?
Mid seems to be the point of call.
मुझे तकरीबन आती है 33.
Already, he's been smoked off, but he does not care! He's just faster than anybody else. Straight into mid. Tex didn't even get a chance to blink, and he's already gone.
Guys,
the read they have, though, is wrong. The flash might just give the game away. Instead, the execution coming through from MIBR. This time, they don't have that tip of the spear. It's 𝐁𝐿 to try and fill the void, and he's gone down immediately. Shrimp doing well, and in fact, everybody stepping up to the plate. He's taken a lot of damage, though, but so is 𝐁𝐿.
And now the ops in position. They sit and they wait, knowing Verno's in that corner, knowing that 𝐁𝐿 is in main, but he can't afford to leave this. He is so desperately low. It's on to Verno. 5-1. A big step up from the performance earlier on. But he has to play. For that, he wants a pick, and that will be the end of him from what we can see. Vangear swung in, but the rest of the squad did just the same, and all gamers
मुझे लगता है कि जब ये लोग push कर रहे थे ना वो ज़्यादा सही था. ये लोग बहुत slow खेल रहे हैं तो
from Texas point of view. Because it's literally like there is a half second where he reveals himself through the smoke, insta hits the
Even
shot,
though I'm
and it
on
makes things so
MIBR
difficult
side,
because
but still,
then you have the
it was a
immediate
good
gamble
shot.
of the third player over onto the other side of the map, and then the flash that comes through that gives them all the information on the other side. Sure, though, those 2 players still had to do well, but you don't have that 1-2 punch of Aspas and
Guys, I
𝐁𝐿.
hope तुम लोगों को शोर ना आए. बस
Just
तुम लोग
𝐁𝐿
मुझे
that
बता
went in
देना
first.
शोर आ रहा है तो, because मैंने fan on
Getting a
किया है,
little bit
so
more troublesome.
मुझे पता चल जाना चाहिए.
Seekers right away. MIBR going for a much more pointed attack. The B side under threat. Kira had a rough time so far, and the Seeker seems to have sent him out of the sight. He's now smoked off, and in fact,
ये लोग
TRP is
retake पे
gonna
खेल
come
रहे
meet
हैं,
him.
I think so.
They want to play a full retake of this B side.
Yeah.
And again, that has been the problem. When they try to stand their ground, MIBR washed them away.
Paki,
So instead,
I live
they'll
in
look to
Riyadh.
fight back, which was really the
Paki, but I
upside
live in
for their
Riyadh.
defense.
Oh,
And
okay,
Lotus, they
okay.
were very good at the retakes. Blade Storm from Aspas to deal with, though. Could be a different story, and the showstopper certainly will.
Guys, मेरी वो हो गई थी थोड़ी सी, मुझे लगा मर जाएगा वो.
Chance of having smokes on the retake, that's going to make it a lot more difficult. Denied the dog, but needs a little more. 2 quick kills coming up for the defensive side on the way back through. Even still, though, 𝐁𝐿's there again, and because of that, he has a nade. Up above comes Vangear, but it's only the one. trading evenly once again, leaves it close and down to just Verno, and he's definitely back in the server after map 1.
Guys,
Another
Verno खेलने
high-impact
लग
round
गया
for
है
the
guys.
IGL.
Finally
What
Verno
is it,
खेल
8
रहा है
and 2
guys.
now? Yeah, that's definitely a
Hello.
different flavor than what
जाग
we
गया
saw
है
from
वो.
Verno starting out the
उसका
previous
warm
map.
up
As
था
you said,
starting
it might
rounds
change when we
actually.
swap sides. That's where the pressure was put onto it.
Last
But
match क्या.
seeing a slow start here would be even more worrying. Giving them a lifeline. In 2 buy rounds now, Verno has been the difference maker for this squad, and considering they've only got
How
4
did
on
you
the
get the
board,
permission
4
to
buy
watch
rounds,
party? Hi
wins
Zarek,
overall.
bot, welcome to the stream.
No surprise that he's our
Actually, I
highlight. All
applied
gamers.
for it.
Right back in with a full buy.
मैंने फॉर्म फिल
Right
किया
back
था,
in with
मैंने
the
अप्लाई किया
operator.
था एक्चुअली,
Players
और
towards the
मेरी
A side, and it looks
एप्लीकेशन
like
अप्रूव
again
हो गई.
MIBR are going to play this very pointed aggression. It's why the op is such a good counter to this, because they're contacting so many of the early angles, but if it's in the wrong place, the rest of the squad will have to answer up. Kira does well to get one, but the trades firmly in
Guys,
favor of
खुशी हो
MIBR.
रही है.
It's back to basics. It's what this composition does best. You have the Jet, you have the Raze, you have a Sky for the flash, and you're in.
Fenrir भी
as
इनके
quick as
पास
possible.
actually.
Viper's Pit for the post, and this becomes an incredibly harsh retake, especially when you have an operator. That operator goes from being your most valuable asset to a weakness. And in the last round, they had a Blade Storm. Well, they don't have that anymore. Bai's trying to find
Gap
a
है.
gap. That gap is exploited by Mazzino instead, and for the remaining couple, do you want to throw
Where
the
to
operator
apply
into this
on
one?
their
Just now,
website?
that's one, but that time is too far gone. It's a consolation frag and a lead extension for MIBR.
Yeah, this is their way back through. A strong attack side already on split from MIBR, some of the quieter players.
And
in that
I
first half
think applications
Lotus
are close हो चुकी हैं. I
finding
don't
the
know.
rhythm early on. And I guess looking across, though, for Fangir, for Aspas, definitely taking a step back, and it makes sense when you look at the Jet on this map. For Fangir, or for Aspas, sorry, playing on the attack side, but you look at it from the perspective of Fangir.
हाँ, wall bang
He's a
नाम
slow.
की भी चीज़ होती है
And I
guys.
do
Wall bang
think
भी
that,
कर
in
सकते
my
हैं लोग
mind,
ना.
that's not so much a danger as it is. It's a matter of time before he finds that rhythm again.
Wrong place, wrong time. That's been the issue so far, is when his operator was in position, when he swung mid, perfect. But it almost feels like he's reactionarily moving. So, okay,
Guys,
they hit
मैंने
B
देखा
fast
ये लोग
last couple
एंगल
of
पुश
rounds,
कर रहे हैं ना,
let me
इनका
go B.
वर्क कर रहा है एक्चुअली.
Now
ये लोग
they're
जिस
not doing that
मैच
anymore. Three
वो
players walking up
जिस
A,
राउंड ये लोग स्लो
despite
खेलने लग जाते हैं.
about to
It's
rejoin
cooked.
the rest of the players on that side of the map, and sure, you get the early warning system of those sky flashes, but it only tells you that somebody is there. It doesn't go 5 players. They don't have a clue, so they can't gamble everything over. The deep position allows them a third player, and while Zekken maybe a little audacious.
Yeah, most definitely. And with Aspas down as well, it's a fantastic pickup by Bai. MIBR falling like flies one at a time.
तुम लोगों ने
and
नोटिस
facing
किया ना,
one
या
at a
सिर्फ
time
मैं ही
they
हूँ
fall.
जिसने नोटिस किया? लाइक जिस मैप ये लोग, जिस राउंड ये लोग ना क्या कहते हैं एग्रो पुश
Rotates
कर रहे हैं, वो वर्क कर रहा है
Texas
एक्चुअली.
Up against
अभी इन
numbers
लोगों ने
on
बहुत
this
स्लो
cross,
किया है
looking
तो
to get
इनका
close.
वर्क नहीं कर पा
Double
रहा.
jump peek onto Messino. Well, certainly got the shot out of him.
I don't know.
Could run to the B site for the plant, but he'll have to get through a few players if that's to even be a possibility. I do agree, for Fangir, it feels so unlucky.
Guys,
You
review
look at the
stream
last
बनाओ
round,
guys,
he's on
stream
the A
को
side,
like
he's
कर
ready
दो,
to pick
channel
them.
को
And I
subscribe
do
कर दो,
like
bell
the
icon
approach.
press
What's
कर दो.
working for MIBR, they play contact up to the choke points, then they burst out of the choke points and overwhelm you. How do you counter that? You hold ahead of the choke point with an operator. They walk into you, easy pickup. But Fangir's done that every round, and every round he's been sat there while his teammates on the other side of the map go, yeah, we got nade, we got paranoias coming, there's dash. It's been an annoyance for him for sure, but he's still 7-5. And we see him there in the late round have success. Just wait till he's on the right side of the map.
Maybe this will be the one. It's looking like more of a mid-press for MIBR. Of course, last time they played this map, it was the attack, but they managed an 8-4 versus Leviathan. I believe that was in the qualifier to make it to this event. Where they sent the previous Masters winners packing already. Verno, who has been the best player so far for MIBR, is gone from this round, and not only does that cause the problem of your top fragger going down, but also your smokes, your paranoia. Leaves you with limited utility with this double duelist, and we're right back to contact again. But that contact has a pop flash ready, and the pop flash has blinded a couple, but nobody actually reacts off it.
I think that's going to give the game away. The smoke is delaying slightly, but this looks now like an A hit. The fake goes through towards the B side. That will keep them in position a moment longer, but it thins the herd for MIBR. And towards the A side, 30 seconds left. They still have to get past Bai, who has been a consistent menace for this squad. The snake bite stops the wrap around, and he'll catch the spike on the way across. Now they've got 𝐁𝐻𝐬 to deal with and the TP from GRQ. 15 seconds to get that plan through, and both will be dealt with. MIBR looked like they were against all odds, but now it's back to even.
Which team you supporting? I'm supporting
Felt like an
MIBR.
attempt to be a hero, maybe not realizing that Tex was still up above, and instead gave them a way back into the round. The duo that was so impactful over on Lotus. Can they drag home around? It's patient from the attack. They're not giving anything. You can even see it. Banger is expecting a wraparound, fully looking towards the heavens. And again, the second the dash is sent out, Tex is there to punish. Every single movement ability that befooled his eyes ended up with the death.
Let's go, let's go.
Yeah, great work by Tex as well. That backside hold. He ends up finding a triple, and then all the while waiting for the wraparound to come in. Like, this round did not look like it was going to be even close for MIBR. 2 versus 4. A player waiting on the A side. The TP taken by
But Tex such a kill, actually.
It was even a 5v2, no? Because Bai was alive initially, getting picked off on the cross.
Show me some op
To end up
shots.
with control back in your favor there is definitely something that's going to put a smile on your face. A little bit of a tech pause coming in.
Guys, जो भी stream पे नए आ रहे हो guys, stream को like कर दो, channel को subscribe कर दो, bell icon को press कर दो.
Take a breather as well.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, the moment in that round that fully felt like a bit of a throw was when 𝐁𝐻𝐬 blast packs up. It's like, you want the kill.
Guys, ये पीछे तो grim लग रहा है मुझे.
Offset your opponent, but if you just sit in the back with the showstopper, there really is nothing they can do, and all you have to do is get one.
They also don't know that he's there at that point, right? They knew about the TP from GRQ, or at least they could assume it. They knew about Bai, but they hadn't spotted 𝐁𝐻𝐬, unless I'm mistaken. And so even the showstopper activated, even just sitting there, there's a chance that they're so pigeonholed on the time, because it was like 10 seconds left to plant, but they just rush in to go for it. And you get the pickup, you get the round. It's a little over-eager, a little jumpy.
I don't
try and close the round.
The thing is, I don't hate the
Inshuu
showstopper.
क्या आ रहा है?
Was it like 15 to 18 seconds left? It's more so just if you just stand there, they then have to run at you.
Yeah,
I think that's actually what Tex did fantastically, was just, okay, just wait
And
and
get
to his crosshair. It's like, okay, it's not a bad one, but it's a good recovery. And finally one of those cut rounds actually got
थोड़ा सा लग रहा था guys मुझे.
a lot of the time it was them with the advantages. You mentioned it with the opening jewels. They were getting a lot of them. And then all gamers were able to fight back. Half equal at a minimum, and considering they lost pistol in second round for MIBR, this is already a pretty decent half on the attack. But they're gonna want a little
इससे मारा और इसको किसी को लग गया. ऐसे ही. मैं खेलना छोड़ दूंगी.
Smoke and orb up top. Okay,
in the right
Fangir's
place.
taking down Tex somehow. A spam straight through, and it's going to be a 5 versus 4.
Guys, this
in
bande
the
ke off
post fight.
schino, please.
All gamers, as we've said, very confident when it comes to those retakes. If they can get on the site, there's a Viper's Pit, and if not, it's there for the next. Good work by 𝐁𝐻𝐬.
Good
He's so
trade.
consistent in this half, and he's kept the advantage in their court. That little sneaky spot by Aspis will be checked. Jumping across.
Shit, what?
𝐁𝐻𝐬 drew the eye so GRQ could find the headshot and leave Zekken all alone. Was against 4. The first is his.
9 bullets.
Time ticking. He can try to use that to his advantage, but finding these picks should be nearly impossible. Boxed in. Nice work. And the nade thrown out. Goodbye time. He's evaded the shots to start with, but the odds will find him
उसको
in the
समझ नहीं आ रहा
end.
था वो क्या
As tight
करे.
as it will
खेलना
be, there
चाहिए
was
था.
enough time on that clock for all gamers to push up to 5.
It's a nice attempt.
नहीं मतलब ऐसे मतलब इन लाइक स्मोक वाइपर का वो जो वॉल है उसमें ही अगर वो मार देता ना मैं खेलना छोड़ देती. मैंने उसमें पे बोला था.
Well, this is the example. Like 3 kills, an opening kill, 1 on the way back in, and then 1 to close the round. Like, this guy, when he is in position, has been a real problem for MIBR, but it is just the all-in gamble every
Tangier
single
को
time.
ना
If
इसकी
he's in the
टांगें
right
तोड़ दो।
place at the right time. A chance
खैर
for a
हो गए यार,
6-6.
खैर हो गए, it's okay.
Maybe not the greatest defensive half from all gamers, but if they go in level, they won't mind. That's an immediate showstopper, and it's close. Bai is down to 40 HP, but will live to tell the tale. Is he going to get back into the vibe spot? I don't think he can.
No, he's going to let it fade.
लेकिन शॉट तो
With Aspas
था।
holding up close, it would have been a risky fight. The judge invading with the decay, but Aspas on the other side. Not a gamble they wanted to take. Bai forced back by the grenade as well, but Kira does really well! It's a triple!
भाई वो
for
मौका
Kira.
दे रहे हैं उसको
The
मारने
fall
का।
in the end.
वो क्या
Tex
कर रहा है
Inferno
ऊपर
still
हेवन
has
में,
some
और वो
life
नीचे
left
क्या
to
कर
give.
रहा है? छुपा हुआ है।
But an AWP waiting for an overextension. In fact, he drops it.
अगर है कि मरना वैसे ही है तो भाई ऐसे पीक दे के मर जा आसपास भाई गोट याद
Who was? It's Tex.
करो
Right
ये
down
वो
below. He's
VCD
managed to
MVP।
slip the net. The Seekers will find him though.
Bro, I'm so
That makes it a little bit more awkward.
done यार।
35 seconds, they've still got time to play with. MIBR are hoping that somebody makes a mistake. That might have been it. A quick double for this attack side. And Shrimp still expecting further aggression. And Mark, to be honest, he might be right. They're still
Not
not
gonna
planting
lie,
just
bro
yet.
can
They're about
clutch।
to try and hightail it to the other side.
Yeah,
It's
he
very
can,
late now.
but
They wanna make
it's
sure
like
that the
कि
storm
आप
is
देखो
clear.
ना कि वो बंदा अगर नीचे गिरा है एंड वो ऊपर हेवन
Another
में है,
smoke.
वो हेवन वाले को आराम से मार रहा है, वो बंदा
Planting
पीछे
this
छुपा
one
हुआ है
start. In the
नीचे।
meantime, Shrimp is going to try with the spam and has managed to catch it. That was the planter. This time, Tex now has to stick it all the way through. His opponent gets a chance to re-aggress. The orb utilized on the other side, and a sneaky
Tex
move from
is the
Tex to
goat.
escape and close the round.
Tex is the goat,
Again,
guys।
another nice attempt for Shrimp, but it will be MIBR to go in with a lead at the half.
Yeah, I think Tex finishes that one with double digits in terms of kills, and I think every
भाई
single
Tex
one
अच्छा खेल
was
रहा है।
high
Honestly
impact.
speaking,
Verno,
it's
same
like
boat as well. They both stepped up to the plate in a big way during this first half, and MIBR now with a lead at the halftime. That's got to be
Verno।
big upside for them to bring us to a map 3. It feels like the wind's in their sails, but I won't be finding myself counting all gamers out. Remember how this started. They were not able to deal with the pressure. Well, that's not going to be the case for them anymore. Now
Tex
they
तो
get to dictate
फॉर्म
that
में है
pace.
भाई, जो बात है
Considering it's
Tex
still
चल
a
रहा
close
है भाई,
half
क्या
after
चल
being
रहा है वो वाला।
deactivated in those kind of round 3 to 5, still anyone's game.
Yeah, it's worth saying that both teams on the previous map were able to win it out over on their attack side. And then their
Double
defense
digits
felt like
already,
much more of a
already
grind. I think both
दुआ भी
teams
नहीं
able to-
मांगेंगे मेरे इसका डबल डिजिट्स करने की।
well, in the case of all gamers play with the rotations, and on the other side, the more direct entry style was working wonderfully for them. Even still, though, I think MIBR not winning the pistol and coming out with 7 rounds. Sure, there were, I think, multiple either 2v3
भाई
or
बट
2v4s that they had
तंगीर
to
भी
clutch
बहुत
out.
अच्छा मार रहा
But it's
है।
definitely looking like a
मार
better
रहा है भाई वो
scenario for
बंदा,
them.
क्या खेल
Rather than,
रहा है,
I would
अच्छा
say,
खेल रहा है
in the last
honestly।
map where they needed that 4-0 start to have the closer attack side.
अगर ये MIBR को टक्कर दे रही है ना ब्रो,
That
कुछ
was
तो
a great
बात है
round as well.
इस
We
टीम
saw
में
the
भी मतलब।
replay from Zach in the
मैं
2.5
पॉपकॉर्न लेके
seconds,
आया।
considering it was a 1v4.
अब मुझे कॉफी पीनी है, I really need a
Almost
coffee।
taking out a player. And even there for Shrimp, what a try. The spam, the reposition, the flash down to try to cancel the plant, force the fight. It was a very nice try, but Tex in those clutch moments finds himself in the post plant backside. Something activates in, and we saw it on
Nonchalant
both
Tex।
sides of the map. And now we come in to half number 2, all gamers.
अगर चाइना
Still, I think for them,
की
they're down by 2.
एजी चाइना
They
की
know
बेस्ट
this is
टीम
a
है।
chance to close the
है
series,
तो
to take it 2 to
ठीक है
0,
भाई।
to send MIBR
Insane।
home and lock in playoffs. And a pistol round could put them right back to neck and neck, considering how the attack went last map. Yeah, as we said, MIBR not out of the woods yet. This
बट
pistol,
आपस की एक बात बोलूँ,
it a
लास्ट
bit more comfortable
मैंने
for the
बोला था
defense।
कि अटैकिंग मैप है वो, तो मुझे किसी रॉयल नाम के बंदे ने बोला नहीं है, ये है गोल्ड के उसमें कम बैक हो जाता है ब्ला ब्ला, बट उन लोगों ने किया था, ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग है MIBR वालों ने किया था एंड दे डिड रियली वेल, बट थिंग्स वर नॉट गोइंग गुड। लाइक वो जो आखिरी राउंड था जिसमें वो ऑलमोस्ट जीत गए थे, बट वो प्लान डिनाई कर दिया
Maybe G2 later in the day, it
and
could
they
be
lost।
4v4 in terms of
और
America's
डू यू मीन
versus
कुछ तो बात है लॉल। इट्स लाइक
how these two
तोता चुप
last
करवाओ
games of groups go.
अपना
Zach and
पीछे।
He's already going to spot a couple, but this
उसको
is a
भी
bruise
बोलने का
again. This
मौका
is
दो यार.
exactly what we spoke about when it came to
What do you mean?
Lotus.
कुछ तो
You
है.
have what
नहीं, like
looks
अच्छा खेल रहे हैं.
an all-in play
I
early,
agree.
even give information to the other side.
बहुत
They have
अच्छा
the
खेल रहे
slow
हैं.
walker.
कीरा अच्छा खेल रहा है भाई.
It's only
श्रिम्प
one player.
अच्छा
It
खेल
almost
रहा
makes
है.
me question, are they going to
रणगीर
go back
तो भाई
again? It looks like they
उसकी
are.
तो टांगे ही
This is
तोड़
like
दो
ruse
जी.
on ruse on ruse on ruse.
गंदा.
And I can't really blame MIBR for being in the wrong place. No, they're going back.
Shit.
Same as what we saw on Lotus, Tom. All gamers were pulling the threads using MIBR like
Shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Shit.
You see it from Mazino go, okay, they are now
ए
on
पे
A,
कर
but
रहे
now
हैं
they
ये
have a
लोग. ए पे
backstab
कर रहे हैं.
of
BM
their
पे
raise.
क्या?
And the
बी
second
तो
one,
सही
it
था.
was over straight.
ए पे
Exactly.
एंट्री हो गई
Normally
है.
it's Bai who's left behind to play those roles, but all they have to do here is delay. This is the problem, though. If MIBR do go direct, if they go
Yep.
quickly into the
They're
site, those
gonna-
flanks
yep,
won't
yep.
matter. The position, at least, of the plant is for Heaven, but Aspas and
What?
Tex clean up the site immediately. GRQ trying his best to slow them down. The Heaven position needed from Shrimp, but he will not find anything. And MIBR, that's what I said, right? They're grouped up, they're in that
Yeah.
clump.
Okay,
So when it comes to
bro,
the retake, they're
retake.
not waiting for the guy that's coming from the south side, that's in sewers, the flank.
Crazy,
They
man,
don't care about
crazy.
any of that. They're
Crazy
ready to go the
round.
second that they get to the choke point.
Crazy
Really
retake.
like that as a pistol round from MIBR, because that was their major problem on the last map. Was
Oh, yeah.
they've gone this way, then that way, then this way, and then
Aas
I've
paas
rotated
achhe
through
shots
spawn. I've been
fire.
killed by a late flank. They then implanted a player on B as I lead B. I get killed by that guy, and then it's like, okay, now we have a 3v5 retake. Instead, okay, all 5 of us wait somewhere in the middle of the map. We then rotate all together. Even if we trade 1 for 1, we come out far more even than before. And then in this case, Aspas hits 2 immediate headshots on the players holding. They are now the panicky team and not us.
I mean, look at that. Known for that. आसपास my goal, honestly.
Across the board. Paranoia
Yeah.
left just to take fence.
Guys, जब इस stream पे नए हो, guys इस stream को like कर दो, channel को
Already
subscribe
been
कर
an
दो.
investment even
And
without
I
PC
hope आप लोगों
until
को watch
they
party में
found
मजा आ रहा हो.
And
दिल
then
से
he
चाहता
lost
हूँ
here.
ये
No
जीते.
need for this
Same.
round. No smokes anymore with
भाई
GRQ
टैक्स क्या
down, but
खेल रहा है.
they'll
मैं
find
तो
another pick or two.
मैं
It'll be
बोलियो भाई
damage
who
done.
hurt you, bro?
For MIBR, the buy isn't what we see a lot of the time, where like you have a lot of bulldogs, and you even have some players playing low buy for the Vandals and so on. It's SMGs. It's a Marshall. Losing these for the next won't be the end of the
Second
world. I
lane
think two
जाएगा
picks
फिर.
probably won't get any sweat on the brow of the defensive side. We'll need it to be a little
Stinger
bit more
gold
than
भाई.
that, and it doesn't look like we'll get any more than the one.
भाई इनकी स्टिंगर चल जाती है. हमें क्या तो चलाने ही नहीं आती है, या पता नहीं हमारे इसमें nerf हो जाती है
Yeah,
स्टिंगर.
I was going to say, Zakin must be aware
चलती ही
that
नहीं है,
it
चलती
could
ही
be
नहीं
coming from
है.
screen.
गुस्सा आने लग
He
गया है.
looked at it and now backs off. They'll just concede that space and punish him when he walks out a little. Or not even punish him when he walks out a little further. Catch him in the doorway. Nice work. MIBR with 9, and I think they did a good job of avoiding the real dangers around mid there.
Yeah, I think this looked like a round of just like, let's make sure we get the conversion.
Easy,
Everybody has a
easy
weapon.
peasy. Third
have a
map पे
chance to farm
जाएगा
up
guys.
orbs. We can go for
मुझे लग रहा है
something
उन्होंने
risky,
गलत
close
पिक करनी है
range,
अब तो
like
मैं
an split
असल में
allows
ना
you to
क्रॉस
do
हो
that,
गया.
like you can
उनका
place
वो
an
वाला
ambush where
बेस्ट था,
firstly
इनका ये
if
वाला
anybody has
बेस्ट
light
है.
shields, that Spectre can do a lot of work, same with the Stinger. But also, if they don't, if I sit on a tight angle, I have a chance to win that battle. So it means that the likelihood of winning this round is a lot
But
less
आज मैं
than
बहुत
if you
लेट
go for
उठी
the
हूँ.
rifle.
आज मैं
But
जिम भी
also,
नहीं
it
गई
means
guys.
that you're not going to have
मतलब
crazy costly rounds if you
मैं
lose
उठी
those
हूँ
rifles.
ऑलमोस्ट
Yeah, you're not
2
going to have
बजे.
weapons
1:30
recovered
बजे
by the
उठी हूँ मैं
opponents that are
आराम
really
से.
that scary
चिल
up
होके आराम
against
से.
you. And
Bro,
with the way
good
the economy is going,
morning.
they'll have an operator as soon as they want it in the hands
Also,
of Aspas.
4 light shields.
Indeed. For all gamers, there's
थर्ड मैप कौन सा है?
especially
Ascent.
close range. Like those SMGs are now going to find a much easier fight when push comes to shove. Look how they're set up as well. Initially, there was the attempt of a crossfire in mid, but there is still
वो लोग
that
बोनस पे
setup
हैं वैसा.
towards A main. From what we can see, all gamers want to take it
अगर
in
इन
this
लोगों ने
direction.
ये राउंड निकाल लिया.
Two mid, spike
MIBR
outside
ने.
A. It's just really going to be a split there. And I
GG's
think
है
that
भाई.
info
Same, I woke up
together
at 2.
by the defense
भाई
by the way.
मुझे फिर भी बहुत नींद आ रही है. I don't know.
Maybe
ऐसा लग रहा है
not.
एनर्जी नहीं
Comeback,
बची यार
I
मुझ
suppose.
में.
Re-clear of the flash and B.
Ascent,
Very
no
soon, all
way.
gamers are
Yes
gonna have
way.
rotations coming their way
Slay.
or a flank underway. It's time to pick up the pace.
Oh, a tight low angle that's not been cleared. Tex is the snake in the grass. A chance to do so much damage first and the second as well. This gives Aspas an opportunity. Bear in mind those light shields, and that's where the Spectre is all the more deadly. He's landed his shots and left it all onto Bai. And they don't have to peek. They can just wait for him to go for a plant. There's only 15 seconds. He doesn't have much on the clock to play with. He's being flanked as well. There's still a flash available, and he desperately needs someone to fight him. And when they do, 𝐁𝐻𝐿 wins the fight at range. A fantastic round from
भाई
Tex.
वो लोग अपना
And I'll be
बोनस भी
honest, that
जीत गए ये
duo of
लोग
Tex
कब आए
and
था
Aspas don't
उनके पास
necessarily
बाय
want
भी
to
नहीं
look
है
at
फिर
their
से
roles and go, well, they're not going to play in tandem. But the way they play off of each other is genuinely fantastic.
अरे तो बैन कौन से किया था
This is the
MIBR
thing,
ने
when you
यार
leave the
बैन
clock that
कैसे
low,
नहीं
you're
पता
pushing in towards the site. Still, there was like 40 seconds left. They have enough time, but that's tiny little gap from Tex. For him to be
हो रही है
able
यार
to fall into radar
उनसे
like that, for them to not have the utility to clear it out, like you're pushing towards
सी
that
उनके
A site,
पास
a
बाय
blue
नहीं
box
है like
dog,
they don't
something
have any buy
has to clear it, but it doesn't. And that narrow gap left. And that's the
Rush
thing. Every
down
time
by
that Tex has been in
the
that position. Think of the first half. His backside plays on both sites, right there as well. You give him a chance, he takes it and runs to the bank with
guys
it
इस पे
every
zoom in करना
single
बंद कर
time
दो
for
guys
MIBR. Look, that last map,
आसपास पे
Lotus in
करो
general
यार
has been a problem for them in the last 2 series that they've played, but bouncing back
Ascent
like
hard है
this is
पता
a
है
dominant win.
Ascent ना
I think
मुझे लगता है
third
सबका ही
map
बेस्ट मैप
favored
होता है I
Swamp
don't know
massively in my mind, but I have adored
पता नहीं
how all gamers have played the attack so far. I really don't think
मेरा
it's
नहीं
over
है
just yet. Even looking
इस
at that
act में
pistol
मेरा
round,
Ascent
they did
सबसे
manage to
worst
sell the
मैप
fake,
है
but MIBR were too quick on the retake. And I guess that's the other question, is have MIBR adapted to that slow style? Because they,
I think
pistol,
they
they certainly
I
had
think they have.
the read.
I also think as well
ये
that the
लोग
thing I like there from Aspas is the patience.
ये
He knows his
राउंड
teammate has
थोड़ा
a play, he lets
ध्यान
him
से
play.
खेलना होगा यप
Like it
ज़ेकिन
is
भी अच्छा है ज़ेकिन अच्छा है I know मैंने बोला था ज़ेकिन बहुत अच्छा
now
है
a chance to
क्यूट वाइफ
arm
है
up
मतलब वो
more
दोनों ही
towards
अच्छे
the
हैं
ultimate.
आसपास ज़्यादा अच्छे
You can see Kira shying away. Does seem like Kira's more of a ruse in this scenario, though. 3 players already taking deep control. 𝐁𝐻𝐿
अच्छा ही खेला भाई
well
अच्छा
aware
ही
of
खेला
the
वो
position that has been lost. And the closer they get, the more deadly their weapons become.
Oh, nice work from Bai. That's Tex down already. The wall falling. Doesn't go down in time for 𝐁𝐻𝐿 to catch them on that cross. But he has called for the rotation.
एक
He's
ऑलरेडी
heard it.
मेन पे
Verno
है
now knows to
उसने
give
मेन
up that
छोड़
heavy
दिया
space. Smoke in to make it uncomfortable, but the dog clears everything behind it. Flashback out, could come through though. Look at this sneaky little position from 𝐁𝐻𝐿! A triple again! MIBR
Click मार दे
strike from the shadows, and all gamers can't quite adjust.
Ah,
The ace might be stolen, but it's all smiles from 𝐁𝐻𝐿. As MIBR looked to take this in dominant fashion. That was such a nice setup. He got in that smoke
Guys,
just at the right
अच्छा
moment.
खेल रहे हैं यार
And
ये
no
लोग
one was
बहुत
looking his way.
and maybe
उसने
not
क्या
a round
मारा
that you
है
expect
मजीनों
would
ने
need a play
भाई
like
क्या
this. But I don't think it's going to do any harm. And that's the thing, like, you're able
Crazy,
to
man.
come back in moments where it looked like it was about to slip away. 11-5. They're now far and away from all gamers. And from that map 1, a map that ended in overtime, a map that showed the caliber of players. But their own map choice of split is looking like more of a blunder. Now the operator
उसको लगेगा वहाँ टीपी किया बट उसने टीपी अपनी साइड में किया माइंड गेम भाई
gives them opportunities, but his counterpart in Aspas has also brought up that operator and is also one away from the Blade Storm, so swings them round.
वाओ ये स्मोक कैसे गया वो बॉक्स के ऊपर रखा
Minute 5 on the clock, and the AWP now rings out, but the shot
ऑफ
doesn't
दिखा रहे हैं ऑफ शॉट्स आ जाओ देख लो
at least know where that is now, but what to do with that is the question. 55, and they're spreading the default. Mid, off limits with the Viper's Pit. A with the AWP. Guess B seems like the easier choice, and it was moments ago. But that's changed now as the Seekers confirm players towards the B side. Aspas on his way. The operator will be here by the time the push comes in. And mid is still very much defended, for the time being at least. Tex waiting with 2 players on the other side. They're invading the smoke. They're looking for this fight, and they found him. That's a huge pick from Bai, but Aspas being in position, deadly as ever. The blade's drawn, but he's put to bed. Trades for now. Keep it workable for all gamers. They'll even get the plant, and that all being dropped. It might be the mistake that cost them the round.
Leaves it on to 𝐁𝐻𝐿. It's safe to say he's had his moments throughout this tournament so far, but This one might be enough to cling to life. He spots out the first. That's the easiest one done, but the wraparound already coming through closer than maybe expected, and the blast back is good enough.
उसका सैचल अच्छा था, काफी अच्छा सैचल था भाई, काफी अच्छा सैचल था, उसका एम हिला दिया उस सैचल ने ब्रो.
That's 12 now for MIBR. 1 away and 7 in a row needed from all gamers.
चल जी अब कोई फायदा नहीं देखने का ब्रो. अभी थर्ड मैप होगा क्योंकि फर्स्ट तो ऑब्वियसली एजी जीती थी.
You've been a day one believer of the new 12-5 meta.
Well, after they did it.
और कुछ भी हो सकता है वैसे अभी भी ना.
First time they did it, you said, "Oh, this is a good idea. This is exactly when I want to see that one."
Yeah, no, the first time they did it.
About game.
But
I don't know.
There's not going to be a time out here. No moment to breathe. Instead, perhaps
guys
the is on the horizon for MIBR.
Half shields है, like proper armor भी नहीं है इनके. हाँ तो next map में आता हूँ. Done. Guys, G2 का मैं stream नहीं करूँगी आज.
Storm is good for one, a clean opener. They should get the plant off that.
With no ultimates online. Okay. Post plant and a blade storm makes it quite difficult to break back in.
Nah, they are not NS.
One player that has a gap.
No,
how
they
long
are not
that gap
NS.
stays open for? How long does 𝐁𝐿 keep facing the wrong way? Well, the entire time. And Kira actually hasn't reacted either. Just moves into the corner instead. Not wanting to rush to take that fight, but second has just saved his
taking
teammate.
nice cover never disappoints me.
Banger,
Aspas never disappoints me.
Well, seemingly had enough of the blades, wanted to go back to the SMG, and well, either way, whatever it is, it's working. Burno left to try and fight versus 3. It's going to be Shrimp to close. The first of what needs to be a 7-round streak has been found, but even still, it felt a little bit shaky.
I haven't seen that one in a long time. The triple kill, double kill with the blades, and then just, I don't need these anymore.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Right clicks him into the ground. That's enough of that. Look at this. Yeah. I guess he expected the re-swing from bottom ramp, so he's pre-firing it with the right click.
I like it as, yeah, pre-fire or right click. Like, yeah, maybe back like in 2021, that might not even land still.
That looks so funny. Well, 6 rounds in a row, it's a big task. Up against a squad like MIBR, players like Tex, like Aspas, showing up in these moments when they're needed the most. They have delivered. Even when they're not needed the most, they've delivered.
Longshim 2-12 से मैच जीते थे. Oh हाँ, वो comeback तो बहुत
momentum can only carry you so far.
बहुत insane
Start from Zeno as they look to shut this one down, and it seems like mission complete. Shrimp, last man alive. Well, he'll make it deeper into the spawn.
Generational clutch, भाई जो
what
बात
do we do
है.
from here? Surrounded in every sense of the word, no lane open to him. A minute on the clock, and if he wins this, I believe in the 6 rounds in a row. I believe in the comeback.
Yeah, he's cornered. And they are not letting him out of the corner. More importantly, the lower HP Aspas is now being healed up as well. It's not like you're saving that heal for a rainy day. He is going to bypass his way towards the side, but instead he has to face Mazzino, who hasn't really missed a beat in this round. Finally,
वो उसको मारने दिया है, actually उसने मारने दिया है.
Speaking of mortality, a man with surely no more lives to be had eventually will fall. It is Tex to confirm a 13-6 victory from a tight OT loss on their own map choice. That was incredibly clean from MIBR.
Yeah, well, the sharp blade of all gamers from that first half, our first map, certainly blunted here. They tried the same plays on the attack that worked so well on Lotus, but MIBR this time were ready for every trick that they had up their sleeve. Now we go all the way to Ascent, somewhere that Flare isn't really what we get to see. Variety goes out the window, and considering we had a mirror matchup there.
गाइस तो हम एक छोटी सी ब्रेक के बाद आते हैं जब तक ये मैच भी शुरू हो जाएगा नेक्स्ट वाला. मे बी मैं कवर करूँ थर्ड मैच, मे बी व्हेन आई प्ले CS राइट नाउ वॉच पार्टिंग EWC मैच वहाँ. चले हम आते हैं मेरे क्या But I would say देखना मैच वो भी क्रेजी है. G2 is goated. Actually, you know what, मुझे G2 का मैच कवर करना था और मुझे पता है वो बहुत अच्छी टीम है, मैंने देखे हैं उनके मैचेस, पर इट्स लाइक कि मुझे जाना है आज डिनर पे, तो मुझे उसके लिए रेडी होना पड़ेगा। और लाइक रूम में मेरा कंबाइंड रूम है एक्चुअली ना, तो रूम में भी सब आएंगे, हलचल होगी, सो आई कांट स्ट्रीम, सो दैट्स वाई, वरना तो मैं डेफिनेटली कवर करती। गाइस जब नेक्स्ट शो होता है तो मैं वापसी आती हूँ, तब तक के लिए हम छोटी सी ब्रेक पे जा रहे हैं। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़। Hello guys, hello. एक सेकेंड वो स्ट्रीम हो गई होगी. Yes, अब सही है.
This map, like they did against Team Heritage.
Guys, it's
MIBR,
Ascent
Los, and
decider map
AGAL,
actually.
only one
जो
can
new है मैं
continue
बता दूँ
through.
उनको.
Two teams from Americas has already
And
qualified 100%.
आसपास ने
So
लिया
far,
भी
whereas
winner ने लिया है
AGAL are
Soa,
the
second
final
is
opportunity
Neon,
for VCT trying to
Mazina
have
Oman,
representation in that
and
playoffs,
Tex
but they've got to earn
Tex
it.
is a
Who
good
will
sentry
step up and
actually.
who will rise above
And
here at
Biden
EWC
ने लिया
2026
Neon,
Paris?
Shrimp
Let's
ने
find
लिया है
out as we
Soa,
send it on over for the final time
Fenrir ने
to
लिया
Mitch and Tom.
Fenrir ने Chamber लिया.
Thank you,
Yeah, उसके
Devon.
ऑफ है ना,
The
that's why.
final map of the
And I
series.
am
We've gone
GIQ
all the
ने
way
लिया
to
है
Ascent. All gamers
Phoenix.
stayed alive on map number 1, but signs of life started to disappear in the previous
Kira
time.
ने लिया
MIBR
Oman.
coming in hot
Damn.
to the touch. But how do you feel about all gamers
Nice pick,
composition?
भाई.
They're
बहुत अच्छी
bringing in
pick.
one that I've grown to love. Looking at this Phoenix, at the Neon, at the Chamber. Do you think that will give them the edge here?
To be honest, the bit I love about this is that and when I first saw it, I was like, wait, the guy who was playing Smokes is now playing Phoenix, because they swap it up directly. Yep. Like it's Kira really likes the Raze, so he'll play the Raze, and GRQ really likes the Phoenix. His Phoenix was nuts.
Exactly.
Like it was probably the highlight when they came up against Heretics. Of course, you're gonna look at this and do the kind of proxy thing where it's like,
बताने के back पे.
Heretics 13-8, the other one got 13-2, so this is easy for all gamers, right? It's like, no, I don't think it's going to go that way at all. I think the fact that MIBR have gone back here shows that was more of a blip on the radar, maybe being boomed after taking a defeat earlier in the tournament. This is a different scenario. They've just dominated a map. They come in with most of their players having highlight moments. I think we're in for a very level game.
Well, let's hope so. Certainly owed it after that first map, a tight affair. Oh, damage done. Shock Dart chasing down Vangear.
Nice.
Just about. Manages to TP out.
Guys, अली बात समय यही हो यार. वो गेम स्टार्ट होने में टाइम तक था. मैंने कहा थोड़ी सी मैं भी ब्रेक ले लेती हूँ.
Stalemate across the map. Flashes and stuns traded out in that short fight. Still no clear direction for the attack just yet. Vangear just moments away from stepping into Verno's angle. 40 HP. Could be an easier fight. With the defender, and just depends if that one tap could be landed. The jump peak with 40 HP is crazy. And he's left down to 1.
They're pincering though. The flank coming in, and the defenders know this. I like this from Verno. He knew if he sits back and waits, he's going to get pressure from behind. The dart is going to help him out massively. The paranoia nullified, and Verno is having a crazy round once again. And now his teammates are looking to try and wrap in. Kira, though, has given an opportunity, but they're both so desperately low that it ended easy for MIBR. Verno, a hero once more in the early rounds.
Yeah, huge work by Verno. I don't know how that reveal didn't get broken. It allows a second pulse out, and that, I think, gives him the upper hand in the third fight. Indeed, yeah, panic, mistakes made theirs. Verno holds the line. I like the idea as well from MIBR. It was a stalemate for so long, but they were ready to push B main. They were ready to fight on short, more so ready to fight A main. And the second that push comes in through mid, they're like, okay, now we gotta go. We go back, we're dead, but we go forward, we have a chance. And that chance converts to a round win.
Is that a round 2 Odin?
I don't think it's round 3, so yeah. That's
the Toadin.
It's a nice strategy, I have to say. I love it. You look at the trips that are in play here. The idea, if they go straight through a mid flood, you're going to already deal with them quite easily. It's shooting.
I really want him to get one shot.
Hello.
Oh, no, there was a chance.
Verno with Odin.
He gave him a moment to aim,
भाई
but not
crazy
to pull the
Verno
trigger.
भाई crazy चल रहा है ये तो. Fire.
They've managed to bypass his angle, but he's given it up. Has Zekhem for support. The only other real rifle, but Mazino, he ended that last map. I think it was like there was 2 rounds where he came up with like 7 or 8 kills. Like just Mazino just popped off, and that does make me a little bit more worried for all gamers that it does seem like every single member of this squad has started to rise to the occasion. I know that at times there's been a lot of criticism of a player like Tex, but I think in this series he's been one of their best players. And while a very clean second round coming out from MIBR, the Odin hasn't been lost. And we'll be coming back in to what is a bonus round. Which, I'll be honest, you don't normally see an Odin
भाई मतलब second round में Odin. That's wild
No,
actually.
you really don't. It's
Odin आ
it's a
कैसे गए
problem to
इसकी?
deal with. It is a different setup though from MIBR. This time Odin's going to be sent towards the B side again. It's going to be that heads-up duel with Fangir, who has lost 2 in a row, which I wouldn't want to fight him at this point. Not feeling the odds that he loses another, but hold on, Aspas is walking up on him, and there it is. Fangir landing the shot. Fool him once.
He
maybe
had
even
op
twice,
right? उसके पास op थी.
It's an old saying in Texas. I don't in Tennessee. Texas. A chance now for 3 for MIBR, seeming less
Sorry, what's
likely.
the saying?
Fool me once. Shame on.
Oh,
Shame on you. Fool me, can't get fooled
I
again.
thought from Tennessee it was.
Who is Sam? 3K no util Odin.
Are you from
Oh.
Tennessee because you're the only 10 I see?
That was excellent. Are
There
you
you
from
go.
10 IC?
There you go.
Because you're in Tennessee.
Exactly. That's the only saying I know from there. Fool me once, I don't know where that's from.
Mazino cheetah है करने का.
That was
Text
exquisite.
पे है भाई
Okay.
ये देखो.
Well, all gamers on their way to the A site. There is a big setup waiting for them here. A lot of trips, as they've just
Okay.
found out, in an easy spam for Mazzino. That's not the only one. There's another kill trip on the back in the camera, landing a tag, and maybe a little bit more. The door's gotten in the way. Saved today for now, at least. Tex, well, as difficult as he normally is to deal with, they've got him in 1, and now the Op Odin retake. They might not want to go for this anymore, but
Oh.
Verno is giving them a chance. It's so close.
Oh my god.
The shoelaces taken off of Shrimp. GRQ tagged heavy as well, down to 1. The Odin spam would be enough. He needs to tuck in that corner. He needs to find a safe haven. And Zekin doesn't know how desperately low that player is. He'll still be peeking in with the op, and it's a death sentence. Verno, 5 and 1. The ult to deal with. He's found him to start with. The spam can take him down with ease, and now just 1. But the mag runs dry. All gamers just about
Mazino
finding the
op
round.
भाई ये
Yeah,
मजे
it's a
ले
win,
रहे
because
हैं.
normally going out of the bonus round, you'd sit there and
Hey,
go, okay,
again,
that's not
like
great,
कर
but they
दिया
had
था,
an
thank
operator and an
you.
Odin, so
And the op went in the hands of
Welcome
the
back.
it was barely a bonus at that point. It had a lot of bite too. I think Mazzino did fantastically well to play off of the utility that was thrown in front.
ये कहाँ
But they
है?
actually do still have enough to buy him with another operator.
Pension
Sure, it's at the
मैंने
cost of
वो
Mazzino, who's been their best player so far, so maybe a little bit surprising to see him have to take the bullet. But then also, the operator's on the other hand for Fangir, which I wouldn't want to give him that for free.
Well, Aspas is going to be sent back. Blaze has bought them space. Bought them safe passage through middle, although
Cam
Fangir's
दिखाना,
looking
cam
to
दिखाओ.
fill in the space after. He can't cross anymore. Not without looking for a fight. For sure it's going to be his responsibility. All gamers
That's
gearing up
nasty.
for an A play.
If he pings him, then there's a chance that you could maybe get the kill with a wallbang. Instead, it's going to be the Hunter's Fury.
Wow, wow, what a
Almost
ult,
seemingly
wow,
off
what a
nothing, and
ult,
that's an
what
early
a
double for
ult,
Verno.
what a
He's
कॉम के
been
वो
playing
यहाँ है.
incredibly well so
भाई
far.
Cypher is
On one, and then
insane.
out, and in fact, no,
Soa
Aspas being
is
confident
insane.
goes for
उनकी
the
क्या
repeat, the
brutal
swing
थी
off his
भाई.
contact from Tex, and this
Crazy.
trap setup
Finally
has worked,
Aspas
I want
off,
to say more than
finally.
perfectly. That is as good as that could have gone.
And this has been the
कहाँ
case.
बैठा भाई?
Looking at
Kira.
the last map, you said it. It's an unusual pairing, but Aspas and Tex get so much work done together. Kira, you are dead to rights here. Big stun landed.
भाई बहुत अच्छी
That
util
Tex
से.
cam was
I'm
just
impressed
enough
भाई.
for the contact of the Hunter's Fury. Because you've got to be sat there as the attacking side going,
क्या ult
why
थी
the
इस
hell
वाले?
have they randomly popped top mid? Who Hunter's Fury straight into top mid? But it's because they can see them on the cam. Like he's able to get just that little pixel of information. Go, look,
Exactly.
there's guys here in a narrow laneway. If you line this up, you're going to get a couple of opening kills. That's
Guys, जब stream
really
पे नए
lovely
guys
stuff
stream को
coming out
like
from
कर दो.
MIBR.
Save ही कर लेता.
A sneaky little play that ends up sending all gamers down to an eco. Round number 5. 2 away from Fangir having a big old gun to work with. So there's definitely still dangers, and they didn't notice Kira slide right past. Zekin down and out, a rifle into the hands of the attackers. Mazzino, he's got a player behind him. He doesn't have a clue. The buy's
Shit,
already passed.
shit.
It's 2 players striking from behind, and well, now all of a sudden it's a competitive round. Those rifles not recovered just yet. They can be, they could be. If not for the instant rotations Coming out of MIBR, the timing here on that main peak could be everything, and Tex has already cleaned house before the swing comes through.
All revealed as well. Looked like that was going to get seriously dangerous, and then Tex basically dropped in alone. Like, it was a little bit risky, but because they didn't have the plant down, he just looks for a timing. And unfortunately for all gamers, I think one of the first players he drops is the spike underneath 𝐁𝐿, which, as a place to drop the spike, it's about as bad as it could be for where the remainder are. Still, a little bit of initial damage coming out from the side of all gamers.
Crazy.
But this defensive
Crazy
side
खेल रहा है
is
MIBR.
looking good
Crazy
so
खेल रहे हैं.
far from MIBR, and you have to bear in mind, last time they played this map, they only managed 2 rounds total, so yeah, it's safe to say it's going a little better.
Indeed. A 4-1 start, and the wind is in their sails now. For all gamers, oh, that paranoia has landed, but it looks like they're going to continue the push, and MIBR sitting back, sitting safe up against these rifles. Now, one of the things I'm curious to see, because Lotus, it was much easier to push and pull that map. They attempted it on split, but MIBR did not fall for it anymore. They had the responses, they had the reactions, and now here on Ascent, I'm curious to see how this attack side will shape up. We've had a lot of failures here with the slower plays, and now an attempt to start with a bit of control towards the A site, late move back in the other direction, but again, MIBR haven't moved. They are sat still. An operator in a position that I don't think they could have ever expected. The angle onto GRQ and a big player removed. Still the Cypher setup to push through as well.
Yeah, they've got the TP to the backside if they need it. There goes 𝐁𝐿. That will now be a third player defending this site, and a question of whether or not they want to fall back. No, they're going to try and pressure into what is now a pretty hefty setup. In fact, I think 𝐁𝐿 even cancelled. He was like, you know what? I'm going to TP, then realized that Aspas has already rotated in and went, I don't need to. Let's hold up the other side of the map just in case. A player tagged up as well. They know exactly where they are, and they've got 20 seconds, Mitch.
Well, I think 𝐁𝐿 would have committed that TP if not for map number 1, if not for the attempts in map number 2. Like, you see that push, you see it stagger for a moment, you think, okay, but the others are outside my site. I'm going to fake the TP across, they'll push in, we'll clean them up. This time it was a more direct play from all gamers. The problem is, as they decide to save, they're not allowed to. 𝐁𝐿, one side of the trash compactor as the walls close in, a couple seconds left, and I guess we'll never know if he saved the weapon. That's how it goes sometimes. That's life.
They did celebrate very quickly, so I'm going to assume they killed him.
Hi in April.
I'm going based off
Drop down
purely
in May.
celebrations. No one wants to hear that.
Guys, ये round पे MIBR जीती है क्या?
No, we know.
मैंने देखा नहीं.
He doesn't have a gun, we definitely know.
ये भी
See,
MIBR
as said,
जीती
I
है.
read
Crazy.
body
Might
language
drop on
and
the floor before
celebrations. Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's
All
possible.
right,
Drop
cool.
into teammate. Yeah,
Anyway, moving away from Mitch's idiocy.
Yeah.
5-1. Defensive side
I
building.
don't शायद
Now those
effective
forces
होने
that we
के
spoke
लिए, I
about
don't
in
know.
map number 1 become
But जैसे
imperative.
MIBR
They
खेल
need
रही है
to
ना,
find
it's
the responses.
insane.
Sure,
Crazy
versus
भाई.
Heretics,
बहुत
it was
अच्छा
a
खेल
pretty horrific attack side and coming out from MIBR, and a great defensive side on the other side of things, with both Shrimp and GRQ having a performance to remember. But as of right now, they're getting shut down before the round even seems to get started. Like, they're looking to try and take control. They're failing. They're looking to try and almost sell fakes. It's failing. They can't hold on to mid. They're losing it to the operator and set trap plays. Bono's in form. We've seen 𝐁𝐿 have a decent couple of rounds. Tex has been fantastic throughout the series. And the funny thing is, right now, Aspas and 𝐁𝐿 are at the bottom of the board. They haven't had a whole lot to do in this matchup. Now, one thing that was building up into the last round were those ultimates. Shrimp, Bangir, and GRQ have weaponry to play with. But can they make something work here?
Oh, GRQ, as you said, it's been a little quiet, a little
भाई
missing
क्या
this
लगता
time.
है वो
Picked off to the side,
निकालेगा?
but it is only the ultimate that's taken down. That
Lekin-
trade good for the start, but enough to finish. Aspas has upped him through the floor. The
कैसे
conversion
मार
path
दिया
goes through. The
इसने?
spam is fantastic, but hold on. GRQ and Kira,
What?
they've got some life left in them. Caught by the ult they might have been, but they fired back at the start. Now it's Kira.
भाई insane.
Getting some great shots in that first look at second. So quick to walk
Shit
through.
यार.
Kira could never expect that level of aggression.
Damn, क्या खेल रही है MIBR भाई. Insane, insane भाई. I love it. I love it.
Considering the ult he's thrown by the other side, that's just fine.
Yeah, they
It's
throw in the
amazing
running back
why
even while
what
not having a weapon into the hands of the player using it, but it was basically just take space, try and trade. That wallbang shot that came out from Aspas is just disgusting because 𝐁𝐿 is dead. If he doesn't hit that, he's dead, and he's the guy who ends up cleaning up the rest of the round. Tex continuing to be a safe pair of hands. And
पर वो जो आसपास की शॉट थी ना उससे ऑफ से इट वाज इनसेन भाई ऊपर से नीचे कैसे मार दी भाई
That is 4 ultimates committed to 1 round and it doesn't net you a win.
कैसे ऊपर से नीचे मार दी इट्स ओवर फॉर 𝐤𝐿𝐤 now let's go
Sending him scurrying. Look at the push up from Aspas. Aggression cancelled by all gamers for a moment. Now they start to fight inside of B main.
Aspas बहुत aggro खेल रहा है वो
back.
रुक जा
There's a
भाई
player pushed
वाले
down
वाले
to help him. The drone is going to send him flying. Dash out, but now look who's stuck in mid. 𝐿𝐼𝐼 has to stand his ground.
𝐿𝐼𝐼, hello, what a cover, bhai, what a cover.
A double kill on the Phantom. They were so pigeonholed on trying to deal with Aspas, they forgot that he might have had help.
Even still, that is 𝐿𝐼𝐼 over.
Bhai, must cover.
You're supposed to keep him alive. Instead, you've taken 2 bodies in response. That's got to be infuriating. As said, this is the best we've seen MIBR look so far this tournament. Sure, they had those blowout games initially, but everybody can have a round, can have a moment. And that's exactly what they're doing now. Aspas, the man who was saved, has dropped the spike into middle. The remaining 2 players are running around like headless chickens. They're having to try and just get
आसपास पागल हो गए आसपास पागल हो गए
single angle. 7-1 in the lead. MIBR are running away with this.
Yeah, things have really changed
आसपास
since that
पागल
first
सा हो
map
गया
where
थोड़ा सा मतलब वैसे की
entirety of
तैसी
it, all gamers were competing, or even at times, especially on the attack.
मतलब आसपास को मारने में इतना बिजी हो गए यार मजीद क्या निकाला भाई वाकई आसपास को मारने में इतना वो लोग इन्वेस्ट हो गए they were like ऊपर से कवर नहीं भी मिल रहा है it's okay सारे उधर देखने लग गए थे
that map, it was Aspas, it was Tex putting up numbers. All gamers dealt with it every step of the way. Now 𝐺RQ goes on to a favored agent, and still we're not seeing that flare.
Well, the reason it was close was because 𝐿𝐼𝐼 was 0-6 in opening duels. And now
Yeah,
he's in
score
the
prediction
argument
है
being their
किसी
best
की कोई
player.
score
Talk
prediction
about
है
a turnaround. He just single-handedly destroyed them in that last. And well,
कौन से आ रहे हैं अभी लोग
you're 7-1 down, and this is the purchase. No ultimate still. And look at the pressure that's being put on. They've eliminated Banging. Now, what I will say is that is the delivery of a fairly hefty upgrade in terms of weaponry. They get to keep the rifle and then get given an operator. I don't think that trade was worth it.
No, normally you're going to see players drop that up first, go in with the shorty, and then refract back. Of course, Aspas is feeling it at the moment, is the best explanation I can give. 7-1 up, but a little bit overzealous. Up against an eco, downright silly. But that's
Great
what happens
delivery
when you've got
service,
this. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Honestly.
That's
Aspas delivery. You'll get more than you bargained for.
problem is they still need to push out through this, and breaking in with the operator of all weapons might not help all that much. The Odin on the choke, the spam from both players catches by. He tried to slide through, but so many bullets came his way, it didn't matter. 𝐺RQ having to recover, another spam! 2 players through the smoke on this initial push. 𝐺RQ tagged low again, even after his heal. He's on 23 HP, and they've barely any time left. This plant should be impossible with an Odin still in play, and it will be. Time running dry. And chances for all gamers are running out. 8-1 in the lead are MIBR.
I always find this when I watch Verno that he looks like a player above his age. Like, 'cause in that moment, you could forgive him to go, oh, if that guy's fought like 3 of my teammates, I can probably just go in and kill him. But he's like, nope, I'll wait 4 seconds, and then it's like 3.7 seconds. He's like, and now I'm fighting. Because I know that he can't plant the spike anymore. I'll just sit in the back line and make sure this round is over, and then I'll be a little bit greedy with the kill. It's just smart stuff. Basically makes it impossible for 𝐺RQ to get anything short. He's got that running back online. They've been farming up those orbs all the way through the game, but we are yet to see that same heroic play that he was pulling out versus Heretics.
After a very competitive first map, it does feel like these last 2 have left something to be desired from all gamers. The last remaining hope. CN, here comes the ult. GRQ, it's delayed for a moment. Flash lands nothing. Reveal is there, and it's shut down right off rip. Dive through. Bye-bye. No one's with them. And bye-bye indeed, it seems, to all gamers. We need someone to step up to fill these shoes as players drop across the board. 𝐁𝐮𝐢𝐥𝐝 on 10 HP, and he survived that fight. Shot back for the kill, and with 9-1 on the board, is there any hope left for all gamers?
Okay, that is the second round I've now watched where 𝐁𝐮𝐢𝐥𝐝 100% should have died.
He was
So,
dead to
but
rights.
bear in mind, they knew he was in that corner since the run it back. So that was when they still had their entirety of their team online. They then peek him from short as well, while swinging him at the same time. He ends up with 3 kills, and then the fourth player that runs in just goes, nah, I'm killing him, and just runs full swing and it gets killed by aspas because he's so tunnel visioned in on just getting a singular kill onto 𝐁𝐮𝐢𝐥𝐝. Just look at the scoreboard. I think the bottom fragger right now on MIBR has 9 kills. There is nobody underperforming. And this is the team that was promised. This is why at the beginning of the year, you're almost laughing at the fact that 𝐁𝐮𝐢𝐥𝐝 has managed to go and join aspas on the same team. You're almost looking at the fact that they've held on to Verno and built this superstar-studded roster. And it's not quite delivered, but when it does work, this is what you get.
क्या हुआ
It
क्या
feels
मिस
like
कर
they
दिया
are
मैंने क्या हुआ
fighting
क्या
a
मिस कर
literal
दिया
war.
टी बैग
And
मींस
everything they do, they
डिसरिस्पेक्ट
just run
हाँ
headfirst into it.
देखो देखो पीछे करके देखो
That's been the same for the last map as well. Like that.
लाइव
first
तो
half.
वैसे भी नहीं चल रहा हूँ
Has 3 kills corner round I've now.
Is there any shot board? We need someone to step up to fill these shoes as players drop across the board. 𝐁𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼 on 10 HP, and he survived that fight. Shot back for the kill, and with
wow.
9-1 on the board, is there any
Feedback
hope
किससे
left
किया?
for all gamers?
Okay, that is the second round I've now watched where 𝐁𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼 100%.
Tries on the wraparound,
Sorry,
but look how
guys.
confident
Sorry,
𝐁𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼
guys.
is. He's running at them, and maybe he shouldn't be. Fangir, quiet so far, but now a chance against one of the world's best.
He's got nothing left though. He's down to just a classic.
आसपास
He used
versus
his last
Fangir
headhunter
यही
bullet
तो
just
देखना
to
था
try and
मुझे
escape. And now with 7 HP, what he can hope for is that either aspas makes a mistake or he can get towards that site and find a gun, but you can already tell that the information has been given over. A rifle in the hands of aspas, and it really does just become a game of chicken. And at least for the moment, it seemed like the Brazilian had the right idea.
आसपास ने किया था ना पुश आउट करके लास्ट राउंड में ओह
Both
अच्छा
players
मैंने
decided
मिस
to
कर
move
दिया
at the exact same moment, moving in tandem. Now, aspas is low enough that the classic could just do the work, but his opponent at this stage might end up running out of time. That's going to be the bigger problem. He has to now get in and get that plant. And in fact, aspas was starting to believe that this was a move towards the other side of the map. Instead, now, he's got to go running back towards B.
And there's a TP available for Fangir, but he's not going to take the risk of even placing, and he doesn't know how close aspas is. Of course, aspas went to A thinking the spike had maybe been taken. He hadn't seen it for so long. As time ticks away, the info not yet given away. aspas, he'll break the trap. He'll step forward as Fangir swings in, and aspas lands the shot, digging a hole deeper for all gamers, burying them under round after round.
क्लासिक वन
This attack side,
अच्छा
they may end the half with
गया
one.
खत्म टाटा बाय बाय
Looking more and more likely as they go by. An incredibly nice attempt from Fangir. This round shouldn't have been particularly close, especially after 𝐁𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐼 put him so desperately low and just seemed to have it dead to rights. This correction with a singular bullet left
crazy भाई
seemed like it might have been enough, but in the end, the final boss. Look at the scoreboard: 11-11, 11-11, 10.
let's go
Like, there really has
It's
just
insane.
not been a missing piece to the MIBR puzzle.
whoa
wow.
whoa whoa
Zetkin's getting more and more confident. In fact,
Whoa,
this is
whoa.
just sheer rundown. Bai is having to just try and hold on for life, and even an escape route doesn't exist. They are being surrounded, choked out, and they think maybe, okay, is this the open site? Is it the one that nobody's holding? No, it isn't. There's still 1, now 2, now 3 and a 4th. Wrapping round.
oh
the
my
world.
god
It was
crazy
Verno to
भाई
close,
crazy
11-1.
11
The
वन हो
team that
गया
faced off against GE is showing up once again.
हाफ टाइम हो गया, हाफ
Listen, I
टाइम हो
don't think
गया.
there's
Damn
many
my
teams
god.
out there that would look at
Hey,
especially
hey,
an elimination
hey,
match and a
let's
qualification
go.
match at the
Guys.
same time and say, I'd like to face MIBR in that one. But you
No.
definitely don't
मेरा
want to
थोड़ा
face
सा नेट है,
MIBR
थोड़ा
in
सा
this
shit सा
form.
है.
You know how strong of a player someone like Aspis can be. We've seen Tex from the very get-go be activated. But now Mazzino, Verno, they're there alongside him. Zekin looks like he's unkillable. The amount of times I've seen him take what for anyone else would be a death blow and keep on moving. Even at times having Aspis as his savior with the op wall bang.
I'll be honest. If he hadn't died a couple of rounds ago to the Headhunter, and you'd said to me, oh, he was in God mode by accident, I'd go, oh, you know, actually that makes sense, because there were rounds where
भाई ये जो
he gets
shot
ball
था
back
ना,
like that
वो
while being
shot
spammed
insane
out by
था
an
actually.
overdrive. The round after where he gets 3 kills while stuck in the same corner for a whole round, and then a player runs at him just to kill him, and Aspis goes, did you forget about me? Like, come on, guys. Like, please don't forget the guy who has a champion's gun buddy. But even still, even
Champions
with
fun buddies.
every once in a while a glimmer of hope, it gets shut down. This was probably one of the best opportunities they had, and even still it didn't go their way.
अब
Right after
होगा
that, complete
ऐसा fumble जो
11 to
EWC
1.
ने कभी नहीं
It was a
देखा
good
होगा.
defensive half last time out for all gamers,
Nice.
but at this
Nice.
point, every single round is like hanging off a cliff edge.
Well, yeah, a pistol round will end the game. More or less any round after that will end the game as well, even if you take it. All gamers have to be.
ये तो हंस ही रहा है. बाकी सब ऐसे serious है, सिर्फ last one और ये हंस रहा है.
I do think though, like the game that they played on map number 1, they made MIBR at times look like fools. They caught them off guard. They played double to triple fake.
भाई वो बंदे की sense ही कितनी low है, पूरा mouse यूं कर रहा है.
Catching so many players off guard. But once MIBR realized what was happening, once they had that time between maps to discuss, okay, how should we react to those kind of plays? How should we react to them pushing and pulling?
Guys जल्दी जल्दी खत्म करो. भाई
Ever
हमारे
since then,
feelings
they
के साथ
cracked
मत
the code,
खेलना.
and all gamers haven't had that extra gear to shift into. Now
They need the fan gear.
they need the fan
Fang
gear.
yeah, fang yeah.
If they're gonna have any chance, and there he is to start
he
it
is.
off.
Fan gear activated. I don't know what that means if you're still going for a car analogy, but who cares about that at this point? Anything that will work has to come through for all gamers.
हाँ
An
तो
opening pick. is about the
doing
best
it
scenario
थोड़ी.
they've had, but 𝐁𝐮𝐢𝐥𝐝 just looks like he's hit a completely different gear, a different level.
अबे.
In fact, an even scenario. A nice work from GRQ, a player revealed, but they are losing as they go. Just the 2 players underneath. The flash is perfect, and a second round will come through. The lifeline has been garnered, and more importantly, GRQ getting most of those kills gets him closer to that ult.
यार खत्म
Perhaps a
करो ना.
consolation prize, but you never want to count yourself out. Remember, this isn't a situation where they can rely on a lower bracket. There's no extra layer. There is no safety net to fall into. It's a long way down and a long way back home for all gamers. This pistol guarantees them at least a bit of runway.
क्या मैंने बोल रही जी.
I was waiting to see if, as confident as they feel, they're
MIBR,
going in for a
MIBR.
crazy force buy here, but MIBR are looking to get this over as quickly as possible in a more conventional way. And take the eco. And gear an opportunity to pick up a couple more orbs, but it's really GRQ you want to see with a few coming out of this. The buy in the next for
Nice, hello,
MIBR could be the
नहीं
beginning
क्या
of
कर
the
रहे
end.
हैं.
Keeping this clean as well is exactly what they want. All 5 alive for all gamers. It's a good start to the half.
Yeah, especially when they've invested on every single player. Like, they have to do that. You can't be playing a conventional bonus
Bhai.
round where you're risking it here and there. And for 𝐁𝐿𝐴,
Fang yeah,
getting
fang
a few
yeah.
additional orbs, it's not going to help him in this next round, but if he can
नहीं
do
यार, नहीं यार.
the work with the operator, he might be getting one for free. The problem is he lost all of his shields, so he's going to come back in with an operator, but no shields alongside it. It's a thin line between
फैंग के राउंड है दोनों.
Another round onto the board. And his opponents with an
अभी फिर
operator on the
फैंगे
attack.
फैंगे वही है. अबे what?
Eye has been bypassed. Oh, he's just shot, but I don't think they've noticed just yet. Never mind. They turn on a dime, catch him off, but the trades keep on coming in favor of all gamers until they don't. Verno dropping Shrimp. Means the spike makes it to the site. Means a 3 versus 2 in the post plant. And there's not much to help all gamers get back into this. The operator would love a pick, but I think they've spotted it now. They've seen that big gun. Paranoia for Kira can perhaps, in fact, it could catch them all if it's at the right angle, but waiting to get into position before it's fired through. It'll find one towards the backside. Clean pickup on Aspis, but Tex was not blinded by it at this point for Fangir. 11-3, you need the round, but the time should be too far gone. And by now it most certainly is with 2 left to get. It's all about orbs. It's all about punishing the attacking side, making it costly, but nothing to be found. No op saved, and 3-piece for Verno gets 12 to 3 on the board.
12-3 guys.
Of the end is here.
12-3.
Maybe he thought there was no way out, but
Play.
I think at that stage, saving the operator holds so much more value than a singular kill. Like, that round was already over, and definitely mistakes starting to creep in a little bit more. I think Shrimp walking back into the site after they've already completely lost it, it just seems panicky. And you can understand why. Their tournament life is on the line. The last representative of VCT China. And it looks like Americas might be getting one more team at least in towards the playoff stage. They all have a man up for now. Not a bad start.
Oh, फैंगे के पास बाकी है.
Man to the good. Zekin down as well, the immortal man.
He bleeds.
Finally. Early pickup, but still some weaknesses here. They're certainly not out of the woods. Paranoia Prime fired through, caught one, but not the second player. Luckily, Aspis is quick to get out of there. He heard a shot coming at him from behind and bailed. Bai's now rotated in to help the squad, and Spawn still cut off by Kira with the flank up by Fangir. All gamers have MIBR boxed in with a man advantage to play with as well. This is looking set for 12-4.
Not good work for Pacific.
GRQ sat at the back of the site, and that's exactly what he's going for now. Just try and make things even more awkward for them, even just a singular pick. But no, he's denied by Tex. The problem is, should now know that there's a decent amount of players at the back of this site. Aspas desperately low already, and Bai will hold his ground. The move towards the other side of the map doesn't even seem like an option anymore. They've only got 15 seconds to try and make this move, and although eventually we'll see a player lost, it's not going to matter too much, although if he got that TP off, there was a chance at a plant, but Shrimp made sure it wasn't.
Yeah, they just got there in time to take him out before he slipped into the shadows.
Not good work for Pacific region है. AG
The
Paper
streak of
X.
rounds for a legendary comeback against some of the best
हाँ,
that the world
Paper
has
X
to
भी out हो
offer
गई ना.
for all gamers. They proved themselves on map number 1. But this task
अभी
it
भी
seems
है
too tall
option
for
है
any
अभी
team
भी
to make 8 rounds against MIBR in a
वो
row
bonus पे भी है.
from this point forward.
नहीं,
Tour de
वो
force
buy
online for
पे और
Fangir.
उनका
I
save
don't think
है.
he's going to be saving that for the next. I don't hear it popped.
Yeah, I think with the fact that they don't have the credits.
Yeah. Lose a player or two and the panic will kick in, but the outlaw's
Also,
perfect.
yeah, all of them are one shot to the outlaw anyway, bar
Let's accept Aspis.
Aspas. But interestingly going for that hero
Fangir?
gun in this round.
He's heard them right. He's heard them right. Oh my God!
What
is happening? They were stepping for the last 5 seconds. The man's deaf. He's unplugged his headphones. It's a 5v3. Aspis
no.
has got by. The dawn of this series looked so bright for all gamers. They pushed MIBR to the limits, but as dawn turns to day, a dark night on the horizon for VCTCN. They are going home.
Let's go.
MIBR push through the playoffs.
MIBR.
It seemed like it was going to be a worrying day for MIBR with that first map. They had themselves in a pretty decent position. And
हाँ ये लोगों ने अपने सेफ में भी निकाल लिया यार. अपने सेफ में ही निकाल लिया यार.
This
Oh, guys,
is the
the
MIBR
classic
we
shit.
hoped to see here at EWC. A
It
brilliant
is what it
performance,
is. This is called
adaptations in map
MIBR.
2 and map 3.
Hacker है
Honestly, it could have
आसपास
been an email.
thrifty.
That was so quick with
Hacker
how
है
they were
आसपास
able to
भाई
get
जो
through
बात
their
है.
opponents. They look very, very good in this matchup.
Oh, they absolutely do. What a bounce back. I mean, all gamers' plan on map number 1 worked to perfection. Their preparation paid off.
Sad
but
for
the
you,
adjustments
यार. Honestly,
from
इन्होंने
MIBR
बहुत
were
अच्छा
there.
खेला.
From the
No
second
doubt.
we stepped into
बहुत
map
अच्छा
number
खेला.
2 on split,
इन
we
लोगों
saw
ने
those
जो
issues
first map
fixed.
जो इन लोगों
In
को
the
हराया
booster
है,
round,
that was
MIBR were ready for what was thrown at them, and from that point
Amazing.
forward, it became more and more dominant. But this last map, it shines a light to just how strong MIBR can be. A big team now,
Finally,
locked
जिसको
in
मैंने
for
support
playoffs. And that's all.
कल भी मैंने
the time we've
actually
got
उसको
in the
support
game.
किया
It's
था.
time to throw this one back to the desk with the beautiful, the wonderful 𝐤𝐤𝐞𝐜.
Thank you very much, Midgeman. As it
एनर्जी
is
एनर्जी ने भी बहुत अच्छा खेला.
MIBR getting
थर्ड
the
मैप तक
job
गया था
done
ना, मैंने
here
थर्ड मैप
against
नहीं किया था. मैं
AGL,
उसका
and
भी नहीं
as
कर
he
पाई
so
थी.
eloquently said, crushing the hopes of a VCT China
So, let's
representative
go.
in the
यहीं पे हम
playoffs.
अपनी
It
stream
also
खत्म करते
means
हैं.
it's 100% win rate so far, qualification rate so far here for VCT Americas. They are 3 for 3 and will go 4